And hello, everyone. I am a little late, but I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight. How's everyone doing? I'm going to give everyone a few more minutes or give some more people a few more minutes to come into the chat. And I kind of pondered about what I wanted to talk about tonight because I had like two or three subjects that I wanted to touch on. And I think I'll touch on that particular subject. Hey, Carlos, tomorrow, but I want to touch on this subject tonight. Um, are there artists within the industry? And I thought about Young Dolph, because when we get through with everything, this his murder, as well as a lot of other murders, but especially his murder, we do know the core of it was beef. And so, because not only before he was gunned down in November, hello, Shirley James, they tried to gun him down a few times before. Hello there, kid. I'm trying to read your name. So I want to talk about that because it seems like we're starting to see it's like repetitive. Like not just with Young Dolph, but it's been happening for years and like it's right there in our faces. We've been seeing it. We've been seeing it for many years now as it relates to rap. I think it started like in the mid to late 90s. We started seeing it with Tupac and them, and it's really like right in our faces now. And you hear people say all the time that there are people within the industry, and it's pretty obvious. It is pretty obvious. Sometimes, what we see, um some of these rappers are signed to be hitmen. you know they have to show their loyalty, and because they come from nothing, a lot of them take the bait because all they know is, you know um they want to come out of bad living, and so they go and do whatever is necessary. So we want to talk about that tonight. I want to hear what you all have to say about that. Are there people within the industry that are being paid to sign artists and then have them beefing? Because you think about, we're finding out now, we're beginning to see now how much insurance they put on these artists, on these young men. The only thing they know is they got a bankroll and they're able to go and buy Gucci and stuff like that. They don't think about the paperwork. First of all, they don't even understand the paperwork. They signing their lives away. Literally, they are signing their lives away. So I want to talk about that because we talk about the artists, that are being gunned down, and it all because I am very, you know, Young Dolph case is just one of those cases. Whereas I think we go left quite a bit, but it was all right there it's all right there in our faces. Like I just don't believe that if somebody was trying to, hello William Mason, to get at Young Dolph two times before, and maybe some times that we didn't even know about, and then all of a sudden it's going to be different. Like I've always said, and I'm not going to change it. Whatever happened those times before is, where they tried to assassinate him, is going to what happened back in November. Everything is going to lie in that world. So, why? And then we have to ask ourselves why, because you see artists that are making money. I mean, I pay attention. I see, they start making a certain amount of money, and they give them a little bit of wealth, and they destroy. You know, why not just make good music? Why not start a label? And you have a lot of talented black men, young black men, that are rappers, because rap was started by African American men. Okay, so you have a lot of talented young black men. So why are other people that are owning labels taking the bait? Why are they? If they're making money, they got a few millions, because a lot of these rappers, especially if anybody believe that stuff on Google about their network, is something wrong. Okay. A lot of these rappers don't have what they say they have. They're renting and they're leasing and they're glamorizing, and they probably, some of them might have a million or two. Okay. Hello, Miss Diane. Hello, Lady Diva. Some of them may have a million or two, but it's not what we think, you guys. So I'm going to drop the link. I want to really talk about this because we talk about the Young Dolph case all the time, and I think we hit a lot of pointers. And I know a lot of people send me stuff all the time about the Young Dolph's case, and I respect that. But I have a lot of insight that I can't even talk about as it relates to the Young Dolph's case. So it's easy for me to dismiss a lot of stuff because when it's all said and done, the Young Dolph situation, his murder was because of jealousy and whomever. And like I said, we don't know who those people were because he wouldn't talk about it, right? But I believe whoever those people were that tried to take Young Dolph out the first two times, it's not going to be that far from that. It was just different players. At the root were the same people, because what you have is, as I said, you have people sending out other people, okay? You said Chad Ochocinco was laughing at what people said about his network. Right. And a lot of people believe that. Good evening, Tamara. Love your show, and I subscribe to your channel. Much love. Thank you so much. Moscow, Tennessee. All right. Thank you, Christian. I know where Moscow is. But yeah, you guys, that's what I want to talk about. Why is it that other black men, because what they're doing is they're giving certain black men a few $1,000,000. First of all, they got the talent. But because they've signed with other record companies and record labels, even though they have labels, their money is going through so many different people's hands before they get it. Their money, they're really getting chump change, okay? And so I've always said, I think it was a problem because Dolph was getting about 85% of his money, right? He was basically independent. You know, I think he had a distribution deal. Okay. Hello, Miss Refuse to Lose. You guys, I have dropped the link. I want to know, I want to hear from y'all. Why do y'all think, first of all, do you all think that rappers have become so, other black, and it's other black men have become so messed up and money hungry that they're signing these young men and instigating them into beefing, putting all this insurance on them? The record company is, they're putting all of this insurance on them. They're luring them into beefs. And then they get taken out and the record company wins. Because I think I was listening to someone, I forgot, it was, I don't know if it was Jay-Z's record company. I can't remember, but they had a $18 million, I do believe, or $15 million insurance policy on someone that was either working for that label or signed to that label. I I mean, I would think that that is criminal anyways. Nobody, not even a spouse, should be allowed to put a 15 or $20 million life insurance on you. And the reason it was in the media is because the insurance company did not want to pay the label. I should have pulled that up. The insurance company did not want to pay the label, was taking this time with paying the label. And usually when they're taking their time with paying the label, because I do work for insurance companies also, they will hire investigators for things such as this. There's because it is something suspicious. Okay. They get investigators to investigate stuff and follow a trail so that they'll know if they need to file some charges somewhere. Okay. And when you start putting big amounts of, and these kids don't know what they're signing, because number one, when they sign, they're so happy. They give them a few. You talk about kids that came from nothing. You get them $100,000 to sign a slave contract. They signing papers. A lot of them can't even read and write. And then if they could read and write, they can't understand the language, because when you're in when you have when you deal with contracts, it has a laws language that even you have to have a lawyer to be able to understand and interpret it and speak it to you, right? So what they have is the record labels. They have the record labels attorneys there. And the first thing the kids will say, the young men will say, well, it was a lawyer there. They don't even understand that they got the record labels lawyer there who is not for them at all. Okay. A kid says Dolph cases all over the place. He had issues everywhere. He toured he toured a lot and attracted haters. And nowadays, you said nowadays it didn't matter if your friends or enemies, anyone became um frenemies nowadays. Yeah. You're right. They're desperate. Right, absolutely. You're right. And here's the thing: if you are an artist, you should be allowed to tour, right? That's what artists do. They tour. And I know a lot of people are saying, and I gotta talk about this as it relates to keyglock. Okay. I hear a lot of people talking about keyglock. Keyglock is a 23-year-old young man. Okay. And I know they're saying keyglock he needs to be getting his lick back for Dolph. Okay. Now, with all these killings and stuff that is going on in the Memphis area, we don't really know if he's gotten if what they doing. Okay. But I think Key Glock and them are being smart, because Key Glock is still pretty close to miajaye. I see where miajaye has gotten in extremely good with the politicians here in Memphis. Okay. If nothing else, they're going to be all over this situation, because to make sure that justice is served. I told y'all. Now I done told y'all now. When they finish with this investigation, it's gonna be one of the biggest takedowns in history in a very long time. Okay. With all of this organized crime and killing and stuff going on, you would have to be a fool. And that's what I was saying the other day. A lot of these young kids are, you know, I don't think at this point, whoever allegedly was sending hitters, I don't think they want to use these young kids no more, because this younger generation, they snitching like 40 going north. So, I'm hearing, it's in the atmosphere, that might want to use some older ones, or get some out of retirement. They better sit their old asses down. Okay. Go ahead and die with your family on the outside, because them folks ain't playing. They've zoned in on everything. Okay. So, as I was saying with Key Glock is a young man, okay, who was having issues, and Dolph took him up under his wing, because I heard Dolph say myself that Key Glock's mother and father, I don't know if it was if Dolph's uncle was Key Glock's stepfather or his biological father, but whoever he was with Key Glock's mama was Dolph's uncle. And he said that they basically raised him. Dolph was about 13 years older than Key Glock. He said it was like my second mama and daddy growing up. And so he felt obligated, because Key Glock was getting into a lot of trouble, to when she called him and said it's imperative that you get him. It's imperative that you help him. So he took him up under his wing. Now, there was another young man got on here the other night. I cannot remember his name. And he was talking about, he referenced another record label and was saying Dolph wasn't feeding his people first of all, Dolph was growing a roster. That was complete. That was very disrespectful. And he was gunned down because of the jealousy to make sure he couldn't feed them. They understood that those young men was talented and that they was going to do some great things, and that is the mindset of our people. But with keyglock, I got to make this point. So Dolph said that, keyglock had been hanging around them, and he was riding with them, and he said, when somebody else, one of his friends, said something to him, he was like, that was profound, because he's called keyglock's mom his auntie. He was like, I had just talked to her and she was like, you got to get him, he getting into some trouble. So keyglock is about 13 years old, younger than Dolph. I think it's very disappointing to me, when because people don't really know like the structure of Memphis. Okay, keyglock and them all grew up. You talking about Straight Drop and all those young men that we're finding out now. That was happened. Helped. They were the ones that took Dolph out. These young men he grew up around. They went to the same. They went to Hamilton. It wasn't no other high school to go to in that area. So they all lived around each other and grew up. You talking about old pictures. I don't really, okay. So those are old pictures. And then people get backdoored and stuff all the time. But what's surprising to me is how with keyglock being a young 23-year-old man, you could tell that he's depressed. The man is depressed. And then people are saying that he needs to go spin for Dolph. Okay, so you mean to tell me y'all would feel better if he ended up in jail? Is that what y'all are saying? Y'all would feel better because he can't go do it himself. He got too much to lose. So are y'all saying that he should ruin with these folks being all over everything? Because them folks that that they want him to spin on get ready to go down. I keep telling y'all they're gonna get ready to take these people down. So are you saying that keyglock should go and ruin his career, or go pay somebody to go and spend on these people and ruin their lives too? The people that he paid. That's what kind of confuses me with the mindset of Black people. It ain't gonna bring Dolph back. So when he says, I know Dolph proud, I feel like you can look at him and tell, even when he do his little lives and stuff, the young man is depressed. He is still a 23-year-old man. He's so depressed to the point where he's talking about he wants to get into acting because, as I said with my topic, he understands what's going on in the record industry. All of these label heads with their no good MF and A's, because I want to cuss so bad, are signing this young talent because these young Black boys are talented. They're signing when they sign with them, they're signing their death certificate, and it is happening right in our faces. A lot of them have to prove their loyalty by going being hitmen. I was looking at one today. I was like, he don't even know he get ready to go to jail for life. They sending them out and they doing it. They got the sense they doing it because they want to wear Gucci, and they know it. He ain't come from nothing. He his life ain't worth nothing, and they sit their asses in the background, and we support them. We could stop a lot of this craziness if we don't support them. And then they'll go, well, who? It's obvious who a lot of these people are. We don't have to play crazy. We see it. It's obvious. I'm gonna drop the link because see, when I get mad, I'll get to saying too. Y'all know I'm passionate and I get real mad because even though these young men are, y'all, it's wild. It's bad. You hear them talking about, I got this amount of bodies, I got that amount of bodies. These young men don't even understand when they sign with these labels. First of all, it's like a damn pyramid. That's the reason why Dolph was a problem. He didn't want to be up under a pyramid. He started he ain't up under no pyramid. Okay. It's not a pyramid scheme. There was nobody on top of Pre that was gonna get his money. He had that type of faith in himself. And I would think that all black men, because black rap was created by the black culture, that's what they will want. Okay? Right? So, hey, who want to come up here? Their definition of real is all wrong. Absolutely. So I said that to say this with Keyglock, y'all. Keyglock ain't got a damn thing to do with Dolph's demise. I could tell you that with a lot of certainty. Okay, he didn't. Keyglock, people are saying that they use Keyglock to get to Dolph. Keyglock had fallen out with them young men a couple years ago. Okay, those young men had got into it, and they was into it. Keyglock too. That was a couple years ago. So when you 0%, so if it was a couple years ago, they had fallen out because you saw Straight Drop on social media. He even referenced the pictures that he was in with Dolph. Straight Drop did on social media. He said, "Take me out of these pictures." I mean, that's before he deleted everything. I only deal with real niggas or solid people or whatever he was saying. I only deal with solid people. So if he only deal, okay, so that lets you know that they had already fallen out. That was a couple years ago, right? I was reading the message, y'all. That they had already fallen out, right? So how can we blame Keyglock for these young men? Okay, now let me, because I'm putting the cart before the horse, because that message threw me off. If that was a couple years ago, okay, if that was a couple years ago, then if they was mad at each other, y'all, if it was that bad, why didn't they try? Why didn't they try to take him out then? He was still moving like he was moving right around Memphis. Why didn't they try to take him out then? You know why? You know why they took him out last November? Because they had some motivation to take him out. And you know what that motivation was? Money. See, when people get through, and I know a lot of people are saying, they want to say that the city killed Dolph. See, I kind of get suspicious when I start seeing different narratives, because I understand when people don't want people to know the truth, when the damn truth gonna come out anyways, because the feds already got the truth, and the investigators, right? They'll put people on social media. They have interns and stuff like that, and people run with that. Put this narrative out, put that narrative out. That's why I don't let people spin narratives over here, because I know the truth. Can't nobody tell me the truth, because I know it. You might not hear me get on here and say everything, but I know it. And it ain't because somebody told me. It came from the people somebody that's investigating. So I ain't gonna ruin nobody's case, but I know it. That's why y'all think I sit on here and my narrative never change. So I don't let people come on here and go left with nothing. I let people come on here and speak their own opinions, and I go, oh, okay. I don't have no issues with that. I'm not gonna cuss you out. Oh, okay. Think what you want. But I already know what's going on. Okay. So what I'm saying is, let me go back to Keyglock, because I got so much. I'm gonna have to start writing stuff down, because I'll jump from one thing to the other. Keyglock is a young man that is depressed at this point. He just lost his mentor that helped to take him out of, his mother was in jail for a little while. Ain't no telling what he had been through. Looks like he's going through a flat out depression. And then it's hurtful when you see what people are putting on the internet, when this man lost a person who was worth way more to him alive. Keyglock had not learned the game like Dolph. Dolph was guiding him. So he was worth way more. Yes, I just got opinions, sis. I know. Cocaine will make friends your enemies, and your enemies your friends. They didn't want Keyglock. They wanted Dolph, and it definitely was a setup. Where's all the surrounding area surveillance? Davey, I'm gonna tell you something, love. I hate to hurt your feelings on this, okay, Davey, because I know y'all wanna, y'all people was talking about why the cookie shop didn't show us this, and ain't no investigator gonna ruin no investigation just to show a curious public a video. They're going to present it in court, and that is their evidence. They would never give it to the news media so that people can see witnesses that we don't even know about and jeopardize their life. I hate to hurt your feelings on that, but that's just the way it is. If let's just say if it was you out there that day and all of the businesses, cameras and stuff was working, because that is a high crime area, high poverty area, high crime. Poverty ignites crime. Y'all know I'm real, right? So poverty ignites crime. It's a high crime area because it's an impoverished area. So the businesses around there, their cameras are working because they want to at least get their businesses and stuff are getting broken into. So they want to at least try to get some footage of what's going on around their businesses. So I know a lot of people are saying, well, why don't they show us the video? You ain't gonna see it. I'm sorry, because suppose it was you out there that day, an unknown witness, and they go and show the video, and then somebody come and knock you off. They got to protect witnesses. So a lot of people, you know, hey, I don't like to say spin stuff. I just don't like to say that, because I like for people to feel and do what and say whatever they want to say, right? But you can't convince me of anything because I know the truth, right? And they're gonna probably use straight drop track hawk video in court when he showed that Bass Pro Shop. Let me tell y'all something about straight drop. Even straight drop was, I believe he was involved, but straight drop was set up to fall too. Okay. Somebody gave straight drop a false sense of security. And people think they play chess all the time. I don't know who it was. I'm just saying somebody did. Um, because when you sit up and you tell somebody, I got your back. I'm gonna just say this: straight drop might need to straight drop. It is appearing to me has a mental illness. I don't know what he's gone through in his childhood. I know somebody that used to be out in the streets that is now an activist that was really cool with straight drop. Okay. And it said straight drop was a real quiet person, but he had gone through hell, but he's dangerous. So people like straight drop, you know what I mean? I could feel sorry for what the young man went through in his childhood, but it it damaged him. That's why I always say we got to deal with our youth, because if we don't, they become homicidal maniacs. Okay. Y'all, I just dropped the link. Keyglock knows he is a target in the streets. Why would Keyglock be a target in the streets? Well, yeah, because see, Keyglock is one of those ones. Although Dolph on his roster, Dolph has a lot of young men that are extremely talented. You guys, they are extremely talented. So, but Key Glock was one of the ones that was up under him. I know somebody was saying, why was it that Key Glock was eating? It seemed like to me Key Glock might have been signed to him first. When you start signing other talent, the Negroes gunned him down before we could see everything. Because he got a song with Snoop Bands that I've been listening to, called "Ain't Nothing to Me." That's a straight up hit that was uploaded last year, a month or so before he was gunned down. See, they was constantly starting to upload music, and it was going viral. People didn't like that. His art got little artists in the hood. He helped taking these young men out of the hood, helping them to realize a dream, trying to pull them away from the streets. These young men was around what y'all call them, true mafia or whatever they call. all these years. They grew up around each other. Okay. So why last November? Why last November? These kids had already been into it. And they were still seeing each other, wasn't enough for them to shoot each other down. So why last November? So now keyglock, it seems to me, because I work with the youth and I know he's a young man, is depressed and he sees the griminess that goes on. If he starts to rise up because we don't want to deal with the root. See, all we got to do is deal with the root and call these Negroes out and not support them. You stop supporting the Negro, whoever is funding them gonna pull away from them, because number one, they don't even care anything about them. They just using them. They using them to make them look like role models, to send our youth out to kill each other. And I truly believe that there are labels. They use record heads, certain ones, and give them a little money to sign people, especially, and you notice they're all real young, and they make sure that they're poor. They come straight up out the hood with nothing because they be willing to do anything. That makes me mad just thinking about it. They already come from nothing. So if they come from poverty, they probably have already had hard lives. Yeah, get him, because he just hungry. He gonna do whatever we want. Go hit up such and such for me. We don't want him to surpass you, so we want you to go hit him up. They start giving them all kinds of lean and all kinds of drugs to fry their brain so that they can control them like that. And we put these people like this on a pedestal. I dropped the link. Um, let's see. The only people investigating the cookie people are bloggers. Make it make sense that the only people investigate. I'm gonna say this about the cookie people. With all them Negroes that's been snitching, I can't understand if they're around there doing all this snitching and ain't snitched on the cookie shop. If the cookie shop was involved, they would have been snitched on the cookie shop. It ain't no honor amongst thieves, y'all. They some straight up thieves and they talking. Okay. If I was Key Glock, I would do a Dumb and Dumber 3 memorial album. And he should. See, they want him to leave because like I say, they really want him to get out the industry. That's why you see Negroes smirking and going on. Really don't need to support him, period. That's how you heard them. And then whoever is supporting them gonna pull away from him because they ain't pulling no money in. But a lot of people that thought that there was a lot of the plan, they thought they was gonna be able to kill that boy and laugh about it and get away with it. And it has backfired. As I told y'all before, I used to look at, and she's taking her podcast down. Right after Dolph had passed away, I see miajaye has taken all her old podcasts down. She did a podcast. I don't know if it was the Mommy O podcast, but she went to college here in Memphis. That's how she met Dolph. She was from Detroit, I do believe, and she went to school here. And she would talk about business tax, and because I went and looked at all her little podcasts. She had a lot of information, and I'm sure that's why I keep saying he had a woman by his side that was smart. I'm sure she put him up on some game as it relates to a lot of stuff too, right? As far as wealth, investments, and things of that nature, because that's the information that she gave in her podcast. And she would have other people on that specialize in certain things to come on and talk about how to help people make their businesses better. And so what she's done is she's gotten in good with all the right people to make sure that Dolph's case is solved, and all these organizations are taken down. Because I see that she was on because the police chief don't do interviews with nobody, but she was on there with miajaye. It was a police chief, all of her assistants, these lawmakers here in Memphis. That's why when I told you them folks out there spinning for Dolph, they spinning. So with Keyglock being depressed, for people to be saying, well, he needs to do this, this, and that, they said that, and I don't mean no harm. I heard, some bloggers say that, NBA young boy was saying that he wouldn't want to do anything with Dolph because Dolph ain't went and got his lick back for Dolph. I mean, Keyglock ain't went and got his lick back for Dolph. Well, I was looking at this podcast that Mr. Marcelo is on from New Orleans, right? And he had NBA young boy. His name is Fee, I believe. He found it. He was the one that I guess found NBA young boy's talent, and he might be his manager too, because I think he did some work with Lil Wayne. They're all from. I don't know where NBA young boy is from, but I know those young men are from New Orleans. And somebody asked him, he said, why is it, what's going on with NBA Youngboy? I know that's your artist, what I mean, what's going on with him? Because he's talented. And he got into how traumatized NBA Youngboy was, and something happened to NBA Youngboy when early on he wouldn't get directly into it. It traumatized him and messed his brain up. So and I don't mean no harm, because I know there's some stuff going on in the media now. NBA Youngboy is a young man. Instead of these old men beefing with him, they really need to be trying to give him some knowledge. Okay? I'm not saying that they shouldn't say nothing back, but it should be mixed with some knowledge. Okay? So his own manager said that something was wired different in his brain from trauma from his childhood. So why would people even regurgitate anything somebody would his own manager said, while he's saying Keyglock need to be out there spinning? Why would we give any credence to somebody whose manager said that his brain wired up wrong? David Lewis said, if I was Keyglock, okay, yeah, I would too, Davis. They helped that kid up and made him feel untouchable. Little did he know. A gang hit. Yeah, it was a gang hit with a bag. It definitely a gang hit with a bag. And so I guess my thing is, where the bag come from? Because even with the gang being taken down, it ain't gonna make no difference if we don't get the people who gave them the bag to take him down. I saw an interview with Dolph and Keyglock, and Keyglock was looking a little salty about Dolph saying he wanted more followers than dollars. Keyglock was looking a little salty about Dolph saying he wanted more followers than. Okay. Those guys on drugs and alcohol, can you get that message? Of course. Of course, they're on drugs and alcohol. If you look at a lot of artists, like I remember BG, okay? Y'all remember the rapper BG from New Orleans. BG was on heroin, I believe he said, for a very long time, okay? He even spoke about that. That was before heroin got as big as it is now. I couldn't understand, because I didn't know black people did heroin, but they was doing it in New Orleans before it ever even got to up here. And he was saying that Baby and them, he was so mad at them because BG made a lot of money for that label. And he said they was spoon feeding him. And he said this in his own interview. He said, but they kept me high. They knew I had a problem. He said, but he kept me on drugs so that they could take my money and they knew with me being on drugs that I didn't pay attention to that. First of all, he didn't even know the business then. He was still a child. He said, but they kept me on drugs, kept feeding me that stuff so that they could take advantage of me. And remember when he was beefing with Baby, but Baby never would say nothing back, other than he had love for him. But BG was really mad, and there ain't nothing changed. What they was doing back then, they're doing now. All of this stuff started, even when you think about Tupac and Biggie, they were friends. You had record heads, and people around them are starting to talk now because it's been about 25 years. You had record heads that wanted to make money, that had these young men into it. They instigated that just so that they can make money. And then when they was killed, Don't get me started on talking about why they was killed and who killed them, because I kind of, the record heads, I believe, allegedly had something to do with that. But the insurance, look at how they get their paperwork is not right, and they get the insurance money, they get the payout, and then they get all their masters, and their family and stuff is left with nothing because their paperwork is not right. So it's beneficial to the record heads, and ain't nothing changed now. And I do believe, in my opinion, because Dolph wanted to remain independent, you know, people wanted. Where's the video at? Okay, I don't know. The police got it. If you want the video, let's see. I think the Memphis Police Department and you got TBI right down there together. So if you got Memphis Police and TBI down there together, I'm gonna give you the address, and you probably need to see if they'll let you see it, because they got it. I don't know how it's going. It might not be a good day for you if you march down there, but that's the only way you're gonna see that video. But I need to warn you before you go. Let's see. Your strongest enemy is the one that know your weak spots. Project Death Spell, that J Fizzle Dolph tribute track that just released hit hard, made me come to terms Dolph really ain't here no more. Yeah, I hate that, because I see, like, when you hear some of the officers say that they killed Dolph for nothing other than jealousy, that bothers me. Somebody that was doing something for his community, and the police officers say all they can see is that he was killed for jealousy. And that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing, So if we don't deal with this, y'all, when somebody else start to rise up and help young men on the street, that's helping our community. When you have somebody who rise up and get it out the mud, and then he reach back and start pulling other young men out of the street, that's helping our community, because when these men out in the street, they're doing dirt. But when you can pull them out the street and help them get their minds right, you're really helping our community, because then they're able to help their families and stuff. Because, as I said, you're taking them out of poverty, and poverty ignites crime. Let's see. They did that to Dolph to try to prove something. Boy, they sure didn't prove nothing. But you actually think you can walk around with $80,000 in your front pocket? Okay. Seems weird they locked the door on Dolph, his brother, outside. Well, let me just say this, because most offices do it. I can say this. With the cookie shop, I've been in the cookie shop a few times, and I do believe one of the last times that I went into that cookie shop, when I walked up to that door, they buzzed me in, okay? It was somebody standing up there, but I believe I pulled on their door and they had to buzz me in. And with that area that cookie shop is in, y'all, I don't blame them, because you got people hanging around that washer and dryer place, smoking and drinking. They had already been robbed a couple times. So you got people hanging around that area. That's just a high crime area. So you want to see who's at your door before they walk in. You don't want nobody just yanking your door open and walking in. I don't blame them. You want to be able to, especially if you're in the back of something, when they yank on that door. If the motion or something goes off to let you know somebody's at that door, if you're not up there, you're able to look and see who it is before you buzz them in. Okay. So I don't know where people going with that. It says, and the thing about it is, y'all, when I got ready to walk out that cookie shop, I don't know, because I know, for me, I know doors like that. I can't remember if they buzzed me out, because when I was working, when people have buzzers on their doors, oftentimes people have to be buzzed in, but when you get ready to walk out, it's different. You could just push the door open and walk out. It says Catherine Sanford and Yogotti and his crew did not stand for what Dolph stood for, and that's facts. A lot of bodies and dropped in in the double R Truler Street War. Dolph got caught up in it. Oh wow. If we had cartel interrogations, we Ben would have found out who sent it. Okay. Catherine Sanford said that's so true. That's the same shit they do. Y'all, I'm gonna drop the link for those that want to come up. Was Trula CMG? I don't know. I don't know. I sure hope not. I sure hope they wouldn't. Um, Andrew Trotter, yes, they did. They didn't realize how much love Dolph had right. And what it did was, even though it started a war in the street, it got the authorities to working together with higher agencies. They realized at this point that the organizations, everybody is looking at Memphis, okay? And people don't want to, these politicians here understand all eyes are on Memphis. So they got to spin. They got to. And so nobody told me this, but I think this is what's happening, because I saw on the news a few days ago a gang that I never even heard of. Okay, a gang that I had never even heard of, y'all. They what was it, ATF, or was it the, all I know is the news said, I think it was the ATF took them down. So I believe what's happening is a lot of these gangs that a lot of these people that they have arrested, some of them might not necessarily want to tell on their friends and their organization. So they're telling on their ops and their organization. Nobody told me this, but in my spirit, I just feel like that's what's going on. And that's why so many operations and stings and stuff are going on. And like I said, I feel like when this is over and all of this, some people are just guilty by affiliation. They was doing dirt, but they was affiliated with some of these Negroes that planned to take Dolph out, right? And did. And it got the authorities to digging into them. These folks got to be real stupid if they still walking around here thinking that they can put bags on folks or send somebody out. And you got to be a dumb Negro to even take some money to try to go put a hit on some or hit somebody. And them folks is all over them, okay? Quietly, in my opinion. That's why I say, y'all, nobody is getting away with this, but at the same time, this stuff has become a problem, and it's right in our faces, and it's our children, because the children are the future. These are our kids that they are signing, and some parents, because they are in part, but they don't know the business part of it. You see what I'm saying? They don't understand. They just become so happy they will easily hand their children over to them, not knowing that you know they're really signing their lives away. I've seen parents whose children got picked up and signed to certain labels, and I've heard them say, I've seen when they say, oh, they came through, the label came through, and they put my child away beautifully. The child somehow came up dead because of a beef or something that the record label allegedly or more than likely got them into, okay? Because the mama don't know why they paying, for a little gold casket or whatever, some beautiful flowers and all of that. They might a horse carriage that they got a 10-15 million dollar policy on them, and all of them master something she don't even know anything about. She don't know the business of it and will never see. And so the mama go, oh, I just love them. They put my child away beautifully, when they're the reason that you are putting your child away. And then you never see them again. They might give mama $1,000 or $2,000, maybe $5,000, and they make millions off of her child's death, and she don't even realize it. Andrew tried to say, and they did. They didn't realize how much. Yeah. Okay. Do you think she was upset he didn't marry her? No, I don't think she was upset he didn't marry her. She was reaping all the benefits. All Dolph talked about was how he said, when I got my first bag, I bought this. When I got my second bag, I did this. I saw that. When I got my third bag, it was 75 grand. I gave it to my woman. He was talking about miajaye. Why would she be mad about that? You know, he was giving her she was getting everything she wanted. She was they I pulled it up. They had just bought a house for about 1.5 million right outside of Atlanta. She was in that house. They had all the cars they wanted. She had everything she wanted. He might have been stepping out. I don't know. I don't know if he was, if he wasn't. But she appears to be happy on the videos. So, I, you know, I don't know about that. I don't believe that. And I hear a lot of women say, y'all, please don't take this personal. Well, I wouldn't have been with him and he didn't marry me. I listen to people say what they wouldn't do and they'll accept worse, So I don't necessarily believe that just because they weren't married. People date for years and they don't get around to getting married. Maybe because folks they break up and get back together and stuff all the time, but he was still taking care of her and them babies. Dolph said in the interview, if anything ever happens to me, I got my kids set up. He said, all this jewelry and stuff, it's gonna all be circulated through my family members, my sister and them, all of them, everything I got, it's gonna be circulated through my family. So that let me know that he had a will. And oftentimes when you have a will, there's a lawyer that is the executive over there to make sure that whatever is on paper, because a will supersedes everything, right? That's why people need to get them a will. So when people go, well, they fighting over this, and that man had a will, because I listened to his interview when he said that when I die, this jewelry and stuff I got on, it's gonna circulate through my family, my brothers and my sisters and them. They gonna my kids and stuff, they gonna know I was their daddy because I got them set up. They gonna always know I was their daddy. So that means he has something in writing. Okay. Let's see. But I'm not saying that you would accept less though, young lady. Who was that? Angie. I'm not talking about you though. I'm just saying. Well, she should have gotten Dolph an assistant to handle his day-to-day affairs. Trulia is connected to Bread Gang and Chopper Gang. Make it make sense. All this stuff gonna be interesting, I think, in my opinion. Davy Lewis says success is the biggest lick back, and in due time, karma will come. Y'all really think Smirk gonna forget what he did to Vaughn? You know what? As I've been saying in the Dolph situation, karma is stepping. She got her heels on. It's a woman, and y'all know there is no revenge like a woman's revenge, right? So in this situation, I believe karma is a woman, and she got her red stilettos on, and she's stepping. I keep trying to tell y'all she's stepping. Still Focus says, I feel like UT that you let know they tried to use him and he not having it. How can those people be talented, demeaning the African American race? And you know what? Let's talk about that. You're right. They are. It doesn't take away the fact that they are talented. You're talking about young men that don't know the business. Whereas if they sign with these labels and they pretty much tell them what type of music to put out, they control the types of music that they put out. And you think that men that have come from nothing are not going to follow the direction of the record company? They're going to follow whichever direction that the record company take them in because they want to make the money, especially if they come from nothing. Lachelle McGee said, "What do you think about Kia Moore and the GoFundMe money?" I don't know. I don't know. I truly believe with Kia Moore, I didn't I didn't look a whole lot into that. I saw that happened early on. She could have been doing it with a good, with a good heart. I don't have any proof, y'all, to say that it was anything other than that. I can't make any assumptions because I don't have any proof. If she say she was trying to help the cookie shop, then I have to believe that she was trying to help the cookie shop because I don't have any proof that she wasn't. I can't make up anything in my head because that would be crazy to make up stuff in my head. I have to believe what she say. I'm disgusted with what's going on, and we see all what's going on. Dolph, FBG, Duck, etc. Shaking my head. It's sad that this is the norm. I cry when I see a child helpless. It is sad that it's the norm. It is very disturbing to me what is going on right in our faces, y'all. It's going on right in our faces. Pooh Black is on here. Hello, Pooh Black. Salute. Yep, I saw that interview with BG. Right. Um, David Lewis, somebody from CMG side put that money up because why they didn't kidnap him then? Divide and conquer. And they're using black people, certain black men and women, as the face. Because, okay, we feel like there's a black man, they give him a few $1,000,000 and they make him the face and they say, we're gonna give you this few million, but because it's all an illusion. They ain't got what they say they got. They really don't have what they say they have. They really living a lie because a lot of them just renting these cars and they don't even own the damn house. They rent that too. But that's a way to lure in children and get them to do anything to try to live a fake lifestyle because we don't have parents anymore teaching kids about love and love self instead of things. See, when we teach them to love things, this is what happens. They're able to sign them to go be hitmen. Like I said, I was looking at a dude today, and I was like, this Negro don't even know his life is over because they say he out hitting licks like crazy. And here's the thing. A lot of these record labels, a lot of these organizations, I won't say just record labels, organizations will they send you out, and then when the folks start getting hot on you, all of a sudden some unfortunately something happens to you. That's what these young boys don't even know. And people going, oh, he was into it with this person. It's the folks right up under him that took him out because they can't risk, with the folks being hot on him, they can't risk him going in there and breaking and telling everything because they putting the death penalty on the table. And that's what's going on in the Dolph case. The death penalty is on the table for a lot of these Negroes. And when the police respect your come up, you're doing the right thing. Absolutely. Suge Knight allegedly paid for the hit on Biggie. Miss D will be up shortly. Yeah, Miss D gonna be up shortly. Seeing how Nipsey and Dolph was taken out, it's best to help from afar. I agree. A lot of times, I always say that especially in our community, we like success, but we hate on successful people. That's a sad thing. We all want success, but as soon as somebody rises up in our community, we hate on them. So we like success, we just hate the successful person. And that's why our community is like, that crabs, a lot of us, that crabs in a barrel mentality. And then the thing about it is God has blessed a lot of these folks. And they don't even want to see nobody surpass them instead of thanking God for what they got. And then not only that, a lot of them are in a position to truly help these young men. And then they hurt them. But you're right, David. You have to help from afar. Like I said, I feel like if Dolph had been anywhere else in Memphis, I feel like if he had been in any other area in Memphis, like North Memphis, any other area other than right in that vicinity that he was in, I feel like he would have um he wouldn't have been moving like that. And like I said, it proves too that Dolph didn't feel like nobody. If you saw how he was moving, y'all, he just walking around at the gas station and stuff. That lets you know he didn't think he had a beef with nobody, because if anybody was in a strong beef with someone, they would not have been walking around there like that. But I always say that I don't, like I always say, I don't believe in a whole lot of coincidences. It's something when you see somebody putting talking about they got a bag on somebody's head. See, I think we underestimate people too. And then the next day the young man is taken out. Okay. It's something wrong with that. Um Tupac was killed by Baby Anderson, the Crip that beat up in the casino. Okay. And bear arms. Hmm. That's right. With no cussing. That's why if I cuss y'all, I apologize. I don't know if one slipped out, because when I get to talking about this Dolph situation, I was talking to one of my friends earlier, and every time I think about what people do. uh, You know, money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is, but then there are some people who just don't know how to handle power. They just don't. That's why when they say power corrupts, they just don't know how to handle it. And then it's that everybody's seeing that same old sad story when the feds have to come and take you away from your wealth. Well, they just had want to do that to a black man. We need the march. You destroyed our whole damn community. When God blessed you and put you in a position, and now we supposed to rally behind you because the alphabet boys get ready to take you away. Um, if you love a person, you okay. Do you believe the recording of the insurance guy? I think about that insurance guy. I don't see where that insurance man had a reason to lie. You know what I mean? I just don't see where he had a reason to lie. Now, the last time the last time I heard the cousin pastor talk about the insurance guy, I know he has an insurance company somewhere in Memphis. But the last time I heard the cousin pastor say, kind of speak on him, they said that that man was in hiding, that because his family was receiving death threats and things of that nature. It's a sad thing how crazy people can be, though. Because why would somebody? Now this is put out in the media. We see how many viewers, the cousin pastor got. Everybody, to include law enforcement, looks at that. So that means when that aired, everybody was looking. I'm sure the authorities probably jumped right on it. And then somebody was crazy enough to threaten his family. It don't make sense to me. That's the reason why they able to take these folks. People do crazy stuff out of emotions. This case is going to open up a lot of small crews roaming roaming coming up. Yeah. You guys, I'm going to drop the link. If anybody has anything to say, you could definitely come up tonight. Tupac had his second chance after being shot 5 times. Notorious didn't. Notorious didn't. Machiavelli passed 6 days after being shot. Christopher Wallace was shot at 12:45 a.m. and passed at 1:15 on March 9th. Okay, snitching on the frenemy. Um, Memphis Long Live Dolph tour sold out yesterday. Y'all, Grove Hero is on the Long Live Dolph tour, and I saw it on the news where he's been selling out. you guys. I believe he was in West Memphis today. West Memphis is West Memphis, Arkansas. The name of the city is West Memphis, but it's Arkansas, and it's right over the bridge, like 5 minutes from Memphis. It sits in the state of Arkansas. Dolph was hit 22 times. That was an assassination. It definitely was. And they hit him that many times because they had a job to do. They had to make sure that he was gone. And with all them folks out there with their cameras, people came back driving around. And, like I said, as soon as they took him out, oh, y'all, excuse me, I got a little cold because I sleep with the fan on. They was able to, I kind of feel like I said, his spirit is still walking around because even though they've taken him out, they still haven't been able to hold him down. His music is doing just as well. I'll be glad when his artists catch a hold. I could see they still fighting, and I do believe with those, I'm talking about fighting to constantly come up. And I'm gonna be praying for those young men, because I could pray for anybody, but I'm a seriously be praying for them because I want to see them go and do what was already predestined anyways. God had already predestined that, and a lot of jealous, envious people tried to take out their head, their lead, to try and destroy their future. But in return, what they did was they made Dolph immortal and bigger, even in death, and messed up their own lives. It wasn't even worth it. AOB gang taken down by U.S. Marshals. The Marshals are the feds. Of course they are. I don't know. They are together. I don't. Wait a minute. I didn't know they was together, and it would be sad if she set something up. I don't believe she set him up. They were planning their wedding for the summer of 2022. Okay. Until I see the video, I'm not trusting nobody. Okay, well, I don't think you're gonna see it, love. AOB was the first gang in Memphis to use switches on Glocks. Okay. Can you imagine how much time they get ready to get? And then they all looked extremely young. That's the sad part about it. After the first two attempts, and you have to wonder, where do they get these weapons from? After the first two attempts, I'm sure he made a will. Of course. I believe Dolph was shot first from someone in the cookie shop spot. That's just me. Well, a lot of people feel like he was shot first from in the cookie shop, you guys. I don't know. I have not heard anybody say that. But being that they was able to get video, and before anybody say, well, because I've heard people say, well, the cookie shop knew somebody at the alarm company, and they deleted some stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was hired to work this cold case, right? And I know where people have video, I had to go to this business because the business had got video of what had happened. So, but I was hired like later on, and I know a lot of times with video, when you're constantly recording, it would delete itself and go to your hard drive, and then after so long, it deletes itself off of the hard drive to make room for the newer footage. Okay, so it would delete itself. We think permanently, right? We think it's permanently all off of the iCloud, right? So one of my friends was able to, and I said that to say this: the FBI got equipment, whereas even when we think it's deleted permanently, okay, we think that it's deleted permanently, they have equipment that can reconstruct it so they can get it back. So even if they deleted anything from the cookie shop, and I can't understand why anybody at an alarm company would want to put themselves in jeopardy, their life in jeopardy, and go do some fair time by um intervening with an investigation, by tampering with evidence. I just don't see people being that crazy. But even if they did delete it, they got equipment Even if they think they permanently deleted it, they got some kind of equipment where they can reconstruct it. That's why I say, y'all, I can't understand why every case in America is not solved with the intelligence that the United States have, especially with their higher agencies, with the things that they can do. I cannot understand it. You know, I heard folks say, well, Negroes going to get new phones. It ain't going to change nothing. Because I'm sure the day that after they got the new phones, or the moment after they got the new phones, if them folks is zone in on them, they got the numbers the moments after they got the new phone or got their numbers changed. Do you all think that the United States government trained their people for the citizens to be smarter than them? I don't care how much money you got. And that's why I say money gives you a false illusion. I'm just saying in general, because when they get ready to get you, it ain't nothing you could do about it when they zone in on you. Air 10 said hello. Hello, Air 10. You guys, I'm dropping the link. Anybody that wants to come up can definitely come up. And what I'm saying is, y'all, and the reason I did this show tonight is because I'm genuinely concerned about our youth and what we see happening in our faces as it relates to these young men getting signed to record labels and then lured in to beefs and things of that nature, and then they end up gone, and we don't think anything of it, and it's happening in our faces. So it would make people give people the illusion that they are untouchable, when really just the people like us that could do something about it is just sleep. I heard that one too. Kobe says, wish this never happened to Dolph or nobody else in Memphis. I wish it never happened either. I wish it never happened. I don't want to, and the type of person I am, I hate to see anybody taken out either way, because when people get ready to go, when these young men are taken, all of them, when they go away for life, well, a lot of them are going to get the death penalty. It don't make me feel good as an African American woman to see black men destroying each other when they got the talent to just make money. Jealousy is as deadly as the grave, and that is in the Bible. And a lot of people just don't know how to control their jealousy. And it makes a fool out of them, which is evilness and the devil. And it makes a fool out of them every time. Look at how many lives have been destroyed. It didn't just stop with Dolph's life. Even the young men that did this, everybody, their lives are destroyed. That's why I said don't worry about a lot of these people that's picking, because a lot of folks think that they're out of the red and they ain't. Because I think it's something criminal about, to me, it's some type of charge. Whereas if you can sit up and put money on your head and say you'll drop a bag on somebody's life and they end up dead, that person really needs to be punished and dealt with legally, as he should. Love, shout out to Dolph sending his family out. Okay. Why nobody talk about the 52 shell casings the police picked up on the outside of the cookie store, none from the inside? Are we sure that they didn't pick up none from the inside? Are we sure? Because see, I wouldn't be able to say if they picked up none from the inside or not, because I wasn't out there. Life is a bitch and karma is her sister. My G-Man used to tell me. Okay. Do you know the music industry have ties to the? Oh, absolutely. Like I was saying before, the private prisons was having meetings with record execs, and they was giving these people that own these private prisons are billionaires, and they was paying record execs to go in the hood and get these young men to make music, black men to make music and beef with each other and commit all types of crime so that they could keep their prisons filled up. It ain't no secret. But that, I think they keep them, like BG was saying, they keep them on drugs, y'all, because it's right in their faces. It's all of this stuff is out in the media. It's I mean, it's out there, it's fact. And they take the bait anyways, because immediately when they sign stuff, they immediately, I believe, get them strung out on drugs. For those of y'all that are just coming into the room, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. I'm trying to figure out what happened to hold on, you guys. Y'all please hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. It's 84 people in here. I don't know how many likes we got, but we should have 84 likes if we have 84 people in here. Also, for those of you all that are new to the channel, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. Yeah, please subscribe to the channel. I'm having to make my banners all over again. I don't really know what happened. Yes, please hit the subscribe button. Also, if you would like to support the channel, I'll put my Cash App up too. So I'm going to drop the link again for anybody that has anything to say if they want to come up. We have 84 people in the room. Let's see. In order for his earrings and everything gets passed to his children, they have to have had autopsy report on file for insurance claims. Self-love is real love. That's right. And it has to start at home, guys. If our children knew their self-worth, all these record companies wouldn't be able to lure our children in and make them their hitmen. Make them prove themselves by making them their hitman. That's why they get them on lean and drugs. They introduce them to all types of stuff like that, so that they can control them, and not only control them, but spoon feed them with these bad contracts. Give them just enough money, when they really should be getting 100%, and anybody else around them should be getting maybe 10. But instead, they getting 10% of their work. And they're the talent, they're the artists, they're the creators, a lot of them. Estate will be up there next year on Forbes under dead celebs. Yes, I'm disappointed. Yes, I seen that he was comfortable. Right. A person that was that I feel the way Dolph was walking around, he didn't I think he was walking around like that because he didn't knowingly have any beef. That's why I say y'all know they put a hit on that man. They paid them folks to go take that man out. I believe Dolph was the cookie shop collecting money or something. Because I'm sorry, them cookies weren't all that. He a multimillionaire. He can get cookies delivered anywhere to him. Well, let me just say this, David Lewis. I mean, because everybody has a difference of opinion. I never taste their lemon or strawberry cookies, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. I do have a weakness for those butter cookies. They taste just like the elementary school butter cookies, okay? That I used to love when I was in elementary school. So, I mean, I don't know. And then too, you have to look at it this way too. And I'm not saying what you're saying is not true. Also, he could have, there are other cookie places in Memphis. He could have gone to an elaborate one. But this was a man that was accustomed to supporting his community. So if this is a community, if this is a cookie shop that sold cookies in a hood that you grew up in, and you are accustomed to supporting the Black community, he used to be all in Debo's. That's where I seen him at when he was buying all our food to listen to his album. That's in the straight up hood. He was sitting in there. That's a Black man's shop, hot wing shop. He was sitting in there supporting his shop. So if he's accustomed, this is an area that he's accustomed to, he grew up in. Then of course he would go and get cookies from a Black owned business, especially if he grew up down the street from the business. This shows you that you can never expect people to appreciate you. That's true. Karma is spinning the block on a lot of these dudes. Yes, karma is definitely spinning the block, y'all. I believe the insurance guy got something to do with it. I don't know. You never know, because you think about that. If that insurance agent, like I said, I don't know if he had a reason to lie, but if he had such pertinent information like that, why wouldn't he go and take it to the authorities unless he was afraid? I believe, in my opinion, he told Thaddeus because he's a public, he's got a lot. He knows that a lot of the authorities or whatever might have been looking at his show. Somebody, if he put that out there, somebody would have seen it. At least somebody else would have went and told it. I think that was his way of trying to, I don't know, either get it out there or something. I don't really know what his motives were. Salute. Hello, So Real TV. Just like where MLK got shot in Memphis, where Dolph got shot in Memphis would be a landmark. That's true. Do the insurance guy got ties to the record label? I don't know. The only thing I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know. I told y'all, this thing is really strange. I told y'all, Straight Drop was living. Hold on. Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
All right, I was just listening in on the Young Dolph case. I was just trying to see what that was talking about.
Okay. Uh. Oh, I don't know what happened. It says, remember, follow the money. See, absolutely follow the money. Let's see. Nipsey and Dolph documentaries are insane. How they show you everything, and they both had a boy and a girl. That's spooky. Okay. I don't know what happened to the guy that was just up here. His eyes and stuff was lighting up, and then all of a sudden he. And let me just say this, and I'm not saying that young man was a troll, but before you allow somebody to send you out to try and harass me, I'm letting you know now I can trace you, and I'm not gonna play with you. So if somebody try to give you some chump change, you better think about your freedom, cause I'm a spin. Okay. Let's see. So don't let nobody get you high to come up, give you some chump change to go get high to come up here and mess with me. I'm telling you now, don't play with me. Let's see, David Lewis. If I didn't kill Dolph, I've been let's see, if I didn't kill Dolph, I would have came out and cleared my name. I would have asked for a press conference, because if they don't tell, they are going to get the death penalty. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I just I don't understand a lot of stuff. Make it make sense. They would be the biggest Rico in Memphis. I do believe that. Kid, the sad part is they doing all this for likes on social media. That's so true. It's still in the hard drive. Well, after so long, kid, it deletes itself. After so long, it deletes itself even off of the hard drive, which means it would seem like it's permanently deleted. Okay. but the FBI can reconstruct it. The insurance man, the cousin granny, 007 Brandon Cole, the white Mustang are all okay. And these kids still want to rap. That is true. I used to work for a disaster recovery company, and we could get information a week later. I'm ready for them to speed the Dolph case up. I want to see this say dropped on. If Dolph was a regular dude, they would call. They will call just to say his killing was gang related and case closed. They can solve any case if they feel it's important enough. Right. All of these cases really should be solved because with like I said, with the intelligence that the government got, they was able to see and hear everything. Why do you think so many people, y'all, was fighting against like these smart meters and stuff? Don't y'all know what they can do with these smart meters? And doing it. That's why I said I can't understand why every case in America isn't solved. Thank you, Miss Lady Diva, for the $49.99. She said, "Sorry, Tamara, I don't do Cash App." Thank you so much for the $49.99. That means a lot to me. Project Death Spell. This the T Mafia. Okay, not truly, not truly a Miss Tamara Mafia. Spin that block, Miss. I'm telling you, I'm talking about. I'm a spin it in the right way, though. So don't let nobody send you up here to think that you're gonna threaten me, okay? Because you can't threaten me because I ain't scared, and I already know when I do stuff like this, y'all, that people who think that they are above the law probably already being looked at. They go get a crackhead to do something crazy, and then they get traced back, and what that crackhead do? They tell who had them to do it. Why, out of all the cases there are out there, people are still threatened by this situation? Who is it? A lot of these folks better keep their old asses. They better have a seat somewhere so that they can stay out if they ain't already been implicated. Because messing with me ain't the right thing to do. Now, if you want to stay in this room, I'm talking about those that's in the back, that's looking in, that's watching what I'm doing. Stay in here, but tread lightly with me, because I don't take threats to. I ain't gonna take them. Period. Okay. Elbow call. I'm not a troll. I love your show. I have my own money. I don't kill my people for money. I kill them with love. Were you the person that just came up here, Marvin? T Money, when can we expect some new updates? Crime don't pay me enough to work for it. Okay. All right. For those of you all that are just, you know what, T Money, I think with this case, so much is going on. I think it's going to, even before people go to trial, a lot is going on with this case from what I'm hearing. And this is just what is being told to me. And as I was saying before, when I say stuff, I don't say it just to be saying it. I don't cap or anything like that. But a lot of people are going to be guilty by affiliation. They was affiliated with these people, even though a lot of them didn't have anything to do with it, but it caused them to start getting looked into, and they was doing dirt somewhere else. Okay, for those of you all that just came into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, I'm putting my Cash App up, you guys, so that you could donate to the channel. Also, if you would like to do a super sticker or whatever, you can do that also. I don't know how all of my banners left, but I have dropped. I'm getting ready to drop the link again. In Real Talk with Tamara. I'm getting ready to drop the link again, you guys. Um, you owe me an apology. Okay, all right. If you weren't trolling, I apologize. I didn't know that was you because I'm used to. As a matter of fact, I see your eyes and stuff was lighting up. I didn't know because I know people. I see how I was looking at another young lady's channel, and some people she was talking about. But see, a lot of these people, I'm gonna tell y'all some. Somebody tried to. One of the first times that I spoke on this case, y'all. The video got a lot of views. I think it's up to 18,000 now. Now that was an outside source. One of my friends traced it back instantly, and they told me not to say anything because they're looking at some stuff. See, people don't understand when they threaten folks, they get a folks leads on them. I ain't gonna let nobody threaten me. But then somebody else started sending me emails, stupid as they can be, and it's another vlogger. But when I got on here and mentioned that it was another vlogger, I guess they didn't want me to call them out because we traced them too. If I sit up and tell y'all I'm a private investigator and I get paid to do certain things because I've had the training to do it. I work with a network of investigators that are retired FBI agents and other in law enforcement officers. I have a company. Some of these people work for me. I contract them to work for me because of their specialties and things of that nature. And you think I'm going to let somebody come on here and threaten me and not see who it is? You got to be crazy to do it. But I apologize, Marvin Johnson. If you weren't a troll, I definitely apologize. I am dropping the link. But anyways, with the young lady, they was talking about hacking her phone. It probably wasn't nothing but another vlogger. Just like it was for me. Now suppose I send nothing. Let me move on because everybody want to be great. Let people do their thing. That's why I say let folks do their thing. I see other people on here I guess they call them the YouTube streets. As I say, I have a company. This is really therapeutic to me. I like to come on here and get knowledge and give knowledge because it's extremely therapeutic. But I see other people on here. I salute what they do. They're able to say things that I can't say. And some of these vloggers be definitely on it. I see other women on here with channels doing their thing. It makes me proud to see other women, especially all women, but especially other African American women that are doing their things, like Miss Lowdown, Auntie Fee, who else? Even the ones that are not covering the Dolph case, Sweet Tea, like a lot of these people. Rose Gold, I love seeing that on a TV. He doing his. That's a man, but he doing his thing. There are quite a few. There are. Cult figure. So you'll never hear me talk bad about another channel. So that's why I couldn't understand why another channel would go and make a fake page and then think they're gonna threaten me, and then we done found out who they was instantly. Crazy as a you got to be mentally ill. Anyway, spooky. I don't want no issues. T. It was dark outside. I'm truly sorry. Okay, Marvin, no problem. Marvin, listen. If you're not a troll, don't even worry about it. If you're not a troll, don't even worry about it, okay? But if you're not a troll, accept my apology. Because I think I remember seeing you on here all the time, okay? So accept my apology. But I'm just saying for any future trolls, please just just enjoy your freedom and leave me alone. And enjoy what we got going on here. Because on here, we all have differences of opinions, but we're adults. We can get along, right? And I ain't trying to scare nobody. I just don't want nobody thinking I understand what's going on. And I don't want nobody thinking, okay, I don't want to talk. See, I don't like talking about stuff like that because I don't like going left. I kind of like staying right and talking about our subject right. And we was going in the right direction. But Marvin, I apologize, but I just wanted to put that out there in the atmosphere, especially if you're not a troll. You said it was dark outside. I apologize. I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying anybody in the future because I have had people to do it. They was emailing me. Emails are the even please don't think you can go get a fake IP address and send me an email and threaten me. It ain't gonna work. I'm telling you now before you do it. And I'm the nicest person. I warn these folks before they do it. But anyways, you guys, I just dropped the link. Also, if you would like to come up, if you have anything you want to say, and we're really talking about what's going on in the like in the record industry, right? Or in any industry, what they're doing, you guys, to our youth, how they have these young men. What would Why would they try PI? You know what they're doing with what they have our young what they're doing with our young men. And like I said, so many parents are so oblivious to what they're doing to their children. It breaks my heart when I see mothers saying, oh, they just beautifully put my child away. The funeral was $15,000, $20,000, and that mother is left with her heart broken, and they made her think that they did something good for her when they're actually the reason that her child is gone. And they get all the insurance money, got all the masters, gonna make money for years, and their children are gonna get that. All the blood of her child off of the back and the blood stain of her child. Humble Soul says, hi Tamara, I'm enjoying the show as always. Also, you're amazingly beautiful and genuinely sweet with a fabulous spirit. Keep teaching and speaking with the truth, Queen, and stay fabulous. Thank you so much, love. That means a lot to me. They poisoning the entertainment industry, period. Yes, they are. They're poisoning the entertainment industry, period. As I always say, you guys, I hate this situation happened to Dolph, y'all. It really it hurts me. It hurts me to know that an African American man that was truly given back to the Memphis community. People say that's cap. No, that ain't cap. He was given back, and they took him down because of jealousy. They took him down because of jealousy. you know um and even though I hate what has happened, just being able to hear a little bit of what they're doing to make sure that justice is served, that makes me feel a little better. So when people say ain't you scared, no, I mean whatever I know, it's because the police already know. Because I wouldn't know if a little bit if they didn't. It's because they're doing their investigations. That's what they're doing, and these are their findings. So the thing about it is, y'all, it makes me feel better to know that there will be some justice for Dolph. And not only that, this could be a domino effect for younger men, because as I said, these African American boys, these male blacks, are the ones with the talent. They are the ones with the talent. And so really, if anybody was going to get a percentage, they really should be getting what Dolph was getting, 80%, 85% of what they built, because they are the talented ones, and all the other people should be getting 10 or 15%. But somehow they've been able to flip it, and they make these boys do their dirt, and while they crumb feed them, and they're the ones with the talent, you guys. Make It Make Sense says President Joe Biden announced that he will appoint a special prosecutor to investigate PPP fraud. A lot of people are going down just for that. Yes, indeed. Y'all know what? With that PPP fraud, y'all, I can't understand how Trump, people was getting all of those loans instead of them legitimately going and starting businesses. They went and had surgeries. They went and bought cars. They You saw folks all on trips, like, but our unfortunately, a lot of people in our community, because we've always been taught to be consumers, to just give money, to just always buy. We haven't been taught on really how to bring money in other than to rob, steal, and kill. So that's why anytime you see a lot of black people getting their hands on money, they can't keep their hands on it. Or when a talent is created in our community exclusively, like rap, a lot of black people don't really learn the business of it, and then they get 10%, and everybody else get 90%, and that's why they spoon feed them, and they're the ones with the talent. But when you get nappy neck Negroes, oh, y'all, don't let me get mad, because I'm getting mad when I think about how they have chosen a few people and giving them a little bit of money in our community to destroy our community by signing these young men, and they got them doing all kinds of heinous stuff, hiring gang members. And I'm not talking about any one specific person. I'm just saying, to be their hitmen, and they're still young men. Because if you can give somebody a bag to go take somebody's life, that means you got money to waste. Why not give them why not, if you got a bag to waste like that, why don't you help them? And so all of this stuff got to stop, y'all. I'm glad this stuff is getting ready to be taken down. People are getting ready to be taken down. It looks like jealousy, but it's deeper than rap, orchestrated by the government. Yeah. You guys, I'm dropping a link. So whoever wants to come up, you could definitely come up and say whatever it is that you want to say. Um Miss Lady D, thank you so much again. I sure appreciate that so much. Your super chat. I thank you so much. So if anybody has anything to say, Miss D said she was coming up tonight. Because y'all know my mouth started getting dry. But I'm sure she's, dealing with her son right now. She has a baby. I think he's a little sick tonight. Um, but if anybody else wants to come up, you could definitely come up. Because like I said, we're just talking. And I know we talk all the time. And I do a lot of, I'm a researcher anyways. If it's ever anything to find, I can find it. So, but here's the thing about that. We always talk about what the problem is, but I'm into solutions. And the thing about it is we have the solutions if we all just stuck together. A lot of these kids that they're signing, they're born talented. I mean, that ain't nothing brilliant. Most black kids are born talented, and we're signing our kids over, and it's a darn shame that you got nappy head Negroes who made it out and got a talent and can really be teaching them the game like what Dolph was doing. Instead, they allow people, they buy into the hype and allow people to put them as the face out there to lure in young black boys, the youth, and destroy them. They feed off egos, and the bag money is fully insecure. Absolutely. They better put insurance on these rappers they signing now, because they are signing gang members. They do put insurance on them, make it make sense. That's why they're signing a lot of them. I think it's a strategy at this point, because you got a lot of young men that are talented that are not gang members. Okay? Because see, here's the thing. If you see somebody out there that's talented, I heard somebody say that some gang members, people got mad because Dolph started pulling his young men away from the gang, but that's what any CEO would do, right? Because you can't bring that destruction into an organization or a business that you're trying to build, because it would help to take your organization down when you're dealing with stuff like that, right? So you give them a better life, you let them see this life of crime ain't it. But I think it is a strategy now to start signing gang members, because they're already into it probably with other gangs, and putting a lot of insurance money on them. You heard me say that I believe somebody that had worked for a Jay-Z's label, the insurance company was fighting the insurance company, because when something happened to the man, they had a $15 million policy on him, and he was just a worker. $15 million. Nobody should be able to have a $15 million policy on you. I'd get suspicious if my spouse tried to put 15 mil on me. As I said, for them to be fighting with the insurance company, I do work for insurance companies. I take contracts from insurance companies also. So, in order for them to have been fighting it, that is because there was something suspicious about the death. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to say, we can't get them to pay us. They're not going to tell you because, see, they're the celebrities. And people tend to believe what a lot of these celebrities say. Well, this insurance company won't pay me. They're going back and forth to court. But they're not going to put out in the media because a lot of these people buy the media and they change the narrative. They're not going to tell you that the insurance company was slow on paying them because it was a suspicious death. They're not going to put that in the media. So yeah, make it make sense. That's what they do. They're signing gang members because they figure they are already into with other gang members. And if somebody they suspiciously get knocked off, people are gonna say, well, they was in gang, they was beefing with such and such. When really some of the people right up under them, allegedly and probably, are the ones that knocked them off. And I wonder who gonna get their insurance policy because they mama not, their children not. Their children not gonna even be able to eat off of nothing because they don't even own their masters. They make sure that the labels got that tied up and sold up. Build artists up and take them out. Dead artists get better promotion. That's true, kid. That is so true. And it's sad that it's happening. And people have gotten so comfortable. That's why when folks go, but what I can't understand is with our community, we want the streets and stuff cleaned up. We want these um, corrupt organizations that's destroying our communities cleaned up. The only way for it to happen is if the police aren't able to do it by themselves, because the police, although they have systems and things of that nature, they don't have the intelligence that the federal government has. So that's why whenever you see the federal government step into an operation, they have operations. Their takedowns are always bigger because of the intelligence that they have, right? I wouldn't give a care how much money a Negro think he got. Okay. But if we want this to stop happening to our children, if we have a problem with what is truly going on, we can't be mad at the alphabet boys or the police that's going to clean up the neighborhoods. Y'all, these are our children that they're doing this to. These people sit up and send our children out while they brag about sending their kids to private schools, and you burying your child. They've lured your child in. They're sending their child to private school off of the insurance policy that they put on your child. Because in their minds, your child's like, wait, and the first thing they'll throw up in your face and say, well, I took him out of hard living. At least I gave him something. You weren't able to give him nothing. And we let them get away with that. Shaking my head, I can't even imagine accepting my fate for a million. But a lot of people are accepting their fate for less than that. They ain't giving these boys no $1,000,000. They ain't giving them $1,000,000. They might give them 100,000. They might. And this stuff is allowed to go on, y'all. So I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link. Whoever wants to come up can come up. Y'all don't have to be scared to come up. Y'all, I'm just speaking truth. You know, this stuff has been going on as long as I can remember, especially it started like around when you started seeing, I think they started coming up with those strategies of when Tupac and Biggie was um started beefing. And now it's just right there in our face every other day. Somebody is taken out or somebody that is affiliated. And as I was saying, that's why I see with Keyglock is depressed. He's depressed. He is a 23-year-old child. He's 23. And so we talk about, well, our community need to stick together. There is no proof other than old pictures that we've seen of when these young men were cool and friends because they all went to school together. You could tell they old pictures. But I mean, November, this just happened in November. It don't take. It takes a while to get over people that you truly love. We've all lost people that we love. And so now people in the media are trying to spin it and say that this young man could have possibly had something to do with it. He's already depressed. Dolph was just teaching him the game. Dolph was worth more to him alive than he could have ever been dead. Kobe, why do you say that he is a criminal? Why do you say that? I hadn't heard about him out there doing nothing to nobody. Why you say he a criminal? Because as I stated before, Dolph even said Keyglock's mother called him and said Keyglock was spazzing out, getting into the wrong things. That was probably around the time he was around Straight Drop them, because as I said, they all went to school together and lived in the same areas. So if you start your cousin, and like I said, I don't know how he was his cousin. I believe Dolph said Keyglock's mama. He said, I believe, I don't know if Keyglock, his uncle, was dating Keyglock's mother, was married to her. I don't know if that was Keyglock's real father, but he said they basically raised me. And so he took Keyglock up under his wing when she said, "You got to get him. He's spazzing out." He did it because he said they was like second parents to me, my aunt and uncle. So if he get him and start taking him away from certain things, I saw Doc was hanging around some of those other men like Jay Money and all of them. Unfortunately, they met their demise. That's unfortunate because those were young men. Their lives were taken. But Dolph was 36 years old. When you get older, you tend to separate yourself. The man said he had invested $8 million each, to $8 million, which was $16 million, into businesses that was going to make him a billionaire. So people start to change. They start to get away from certain things. I know Valerie, I know his grandmother raised him. His dad, his mom raised him. I saw his documentary. But he did say that Keyglock's mother and his uncle were like second parents to him. But he always talked about how Miss Ada Mae, which was his dad's mom, a lot of people said they thought his grandmother probably did adopt him, because I saw his daddy. He looked just like his daddy on that documentary when he was crying, saying that his mother took Dolph and his brothers. Her mother took the boys, and his mother, Dolph's daddy's mom, took them. And that man sat at that table and cried and said, how many folks can say they had been out in the street and had not been in their children's life like they should have because he was on drugs? But my son has set me up, and I pulled a house up. He got him in a nice suburban area. I pulled it up. He said he paid a rent every month. I got a nice house. He cried at the table. I was looking at him. It's on YouTube. He said I got a nice car. He paid every bill I got every month. How many people can say that my child got me living like I'm living? So I know Miss Ada Mae raised him. His dad, his mother. You're right. The record company gets their masters in insurance money. Keyglock mom and dad was locked up together, and Dolph mom was on dope. Right. He said that his mother, Dolph said in the interview, he said somebody had to talk to him. But understand this now. Dolph is about 13 or 14 years older than Keyglock. So when he was saying they was like second parents to them, I don't know, but his grandmother helped raising him, and she was getting older. Who's to say that they didn't do some things for them? Some things for them that his grandmother may not have been able to do, because he felt an obligation to help Keyglock. because he said she called and said it. Keyglock mom and his mom was locked up together. And Dolph said too, he said he had a lot of animosity for his mother and his dad because he felt like they chose drugs over him and his siblings. And he said somebody had to sit him down and talk to him and say that that wasn't cool. He said, he would say they ain't do nothing for us. They chose drugs over us. They let my grandmama struggle in raising me and my brother now. So he said he had a lot of animosity in the beginning, but he said somebody talked to him and said that's not how you do that. His I, his daddy living in a very nice home in a suburban area in Memphis. And that's where the robbery came in at. Dolph will never see that 16 million again, but Keyglock will. Oh Lord. Lady Diva, didn't Dolph have a business partner? Dolph has a business partner. I really want to interview him so bad. Dolph's business partner, let me just say this. I know a lot of people have theories about that. I believe they was following Keyglock or some one social media and seeing a post of Dolph going to the cookie shop. Okay. I don't believe that, but okay. Yes, Dolph has a business partner, and I'm gonna get back to that kid. I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe that. But Daddy O is Dolph's business partner. And I don't know what, because Dolph said Daddy O taught him everything. Daddy O even did an interview and said when they was trying to get Dolph out there, when they wanted Dolph to open for bigger artists that was hidden at the time, they would go and ask these artists, can he come and open for us? And they were saying, well, you got to pay us 25 grand. He said, so I gave him 25 grand. So and Dolph never made no qualms about that. He said Daddy O taught him everything and was the one that funded him. So Daddy O was like his mentor. So that would lead me to believe that Daddy O already had the bread. So I don't think he would try to kill Dolph to get what he got. If he funded him and started him off, he had the bread already. I believe they was following Keyglock. No, I don't see. I saw on social media when Dolph was first killed. Keyglock didn't know it. He was on social media rapping, right? And if you had seen his eyes, I wish I could upload it. I don't even have the heart really to go look at it again. When people start putting RIP, when he started reading the comments, if you had seen, he was in disbelief. He got so discombobulated, he didn't even know how to turn Instagram off. Somebody in the background said, man, they putting up dolphins and everything. Something ain't right. The man was so distraught and discombobulated, he couldn't even figure out how to turn Instagram off, or Instagram that he be on every day. So I don't believe he had anything to do with that. If y'all had saw how his eyes stretched, he couldn't believe it. He saw it on social media. A lot of these cases, the OPPs found the targets by dropping locations or following people. For myself, do it to my kids. So okay. So when Keyglock have to report to, right, that's why he said in his song, Daddy O said, um, it now would be the time. So they still have, that's what I say. I hope that they can have some unity, all of those young men. Even though Daddy O was in the background, he was probably more like the funder. Dolph was more like the visionary. You know what I mean? He had the energy to be out front. Most men that's got the money to fund like Daddy O like staying in the background, okay? That's why I was saying with all of that talent, y'all, this young man is depressed for him to say, I want to leave the music industry and maybe be an actor. He sees how grimy it is and then how hateful people can be on social media because they want to make a quarter. But I ain't gonna change the narrative because I make money with my investigative company. So I'm not gonna get on here and constantly change the narrative when I know that these people, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure everybody else got other jobs too. when I know that these when I know what I know. A lot of these young men are, especially him, because he was the closest one to him. They look at this stuff. People, this is real life. This man lost his mentor, and I'm sure he's still having a hard time. So as a mother, I can't get on here and accuse him of having anything to do with his death. He can't benefit. All of whatever Dolph had went to his family. So that's why I say I want to know what Daddy-O's vision is. With Keyglock being a lot younger than Dolph, mentally, I don't even know. I mean, that's why I say he was still grooming him. He still got to mature. I got a 23-year-old. I know they ain't all the way mature. They have temper tantrums. They're still immature. No, not the Black Queen. Okay, for those of you all that are just coming into the room, if though for those of you all that are just coming into the room, see Kobe, you are something else. For those of you all that are just coming into the room, please hit the like button. I don't know how many likes we got in here. Shoot. Please hit the like button, and also for those of you that have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot. For those of you that would like to support the channel, you can either support it by super chats or by Cash App, however you want to do it. He says, I'm feeling it. Exactly. Key Glock still rapping independent. By him wanting to take Young Dolph death, don't have nothing to do with him. What is the go game? I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. We can't tell people how long to grieve, y'all. We can't. And then you have to think about, he was cool because he grew up around these. At one point, he was cool with them because I saw where Straight Drop had posted on social media. Um, Worth 1.5 million in plus 9 vehicles and a house. In independent, there's no 360, no need to backdoor your home. Absolutely. He was teaching them how to be independent. I mean, like I said before, that's not conducive to these record labels that are producing pyramid schemes and that are putting their artists in slave contracts. That's not conducive. The money bag gets shot the same day. I don't know. I've heard people say that. Nobody else has told me that Moneybag Gill got shot the same day Dolph did. No, no, nobody has. But of course, I didn't ask nobody. But I ain't heard nobody else say it other than on social media. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that, you guys. For those of you all that are just coming into the room, please hit the like button. Also, I'm getting ready to drop the link again for those that would like to come up. You have anything that you want to talk about? Like I said, me personally, I don't believe that Keyglock backdoor Dolph. Like I said, I don't know who tried to kill Dolph before because he didn't tell. But in my opinion, whoever those people were that attempted his life the first two times, it's not going to be that far from what happened in November. Just in my opinion. Okay. Like I said, I don't really believe in a whole lot of coincidences. When people are insistent on they're going to take you down, unfortunately, in the process of taking him down, they took themselves down. Dolph is not here anymore, but a lot of them are gonna either be on death row or or life in prison. That was a lie that came out of CMG camp. Okay, so Moneybag didn't get shot. That was another lie that came out too about something else. I was intending to talk about it tonight, but I forgot. Hello, Tamra. Is the case still progressing? It's been quiet. They've been quiet because I believe they've been spinning, skinny gal. When they get quiet like that, that's when you need to be. That's when you need to be worried. Well, not for us, cause we ain't out here. We ain't out here putting hits on people. Daddy O has a part ownership in Pre. I think he and Dolph owned it 50-50, or I don't know how that was, because if I'm not mistaken, Daddy O, I don't know, by the time they started Pre, Daddy O had helped Dolph to get up his money. But I do know in the beginning, Daddy O was the one. He was his mentor. He was the one that was funding. Miss T, that fire. Everybody talk about my fire detector, y'all. It is. I have changed the battery 2 or 3 times. And I was in Walmart today. I just need to get a new one because it has. I guess it has malfunctioned because it's not the battery. And it's funny because people, it bothers people. I guess I've just gotten used to it. And every time I go in Walmart or somewhere I go, I need to. I forget when I get in. I need to get me a new fire detector because it's just beeping because it's something wrong with it because I've changed. I put 3 new batteries in it and it just won't shut up. Either that or I'm not doing something right because it went off one day, y'all. And I left something on the stove too long and it went off. And I went and pushed the button. And when I push the button, it stops, right? And it ain't shut up a day since. It says, "Where's Farrakhan when we need him?" Teen Summit. You know what? They banned Farrakhan because they tried to ban him off of all social medias because he was the one that was putting out knowledge about what was going on, especially with these private prisons. Now, y'all, y'all know I gotta be. I'm watching CEO Daddy. Oh, now T. You say you watching CEO Daddy? Oh, okay. Um, he was given a lot of knowledge about what was really going on, and that's why I say, whatever happened to, like, whatever happened to, like, I won't say integrity, pride. That's the word I'm looking for. With a lot of these black men that are in the industry. Whatever happened to pride and not allowing, taking crumbs and letting people use you as the face to lure in certain things, and not just even with rap, but a lot of stuff to destroy your community. They use the black people. They're using these black men, a lot of them, to sell lies to our youth and destroy our community, and they're okay with doing it. They're okay with doing it. Whatever happened to their pride? I'm gonna tell you something. I say this all the time because it's the truth. And I believe that's the reason why a lot of people are getting their karma right now as we speak. I tell you, them folks out there spinning because they gone quiet. No one man, and this is for the people in the back that never say nothing, because I know a lot of people come through here. No one man can rise above the condition of his people. Okay? No one man. Keyglock didn't have nothing to do with Dolph's death, but he got to be feeling some kind of way. It was allegedly by his old friends, and social media is blaming him. And that's what I can't understand. Why would social media blame him when, they were his old friends? They weren't friends anymore. Kid said he thought that was his. Tamara, some people would do anything. These folks do anything for $1. No other community, you don't see them disrespecting women or talking about killing each other. Even with the rockers, they stand up there screaming and hollering. They have on all that makeup running all down their eyes and cheeks, look like devils. I don't know what they be screaming, but they're not screaming. They're not calling their women B's and H's. They don't do that in other communities. The country singers are not talking about putting bags on each other's heads. The same, a lot of these record execs that work with these other genres of music, they don't just work with rap. They're working with these rappers. They are not going to allow them to put that out in their community. They're gonna talk about love and all of that. They're gonna, when you see their videos, you're gonna see the family orientation, the family structure. They pay these black men pennies on the dollars to promote baby mamas, being baby mamas, black girls that are, snorting powder and being strippers and prostitutes. They don't want their women exploited like that. And until there is some reconciliation, because the black man is supposed to be the head. God says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor. A lot of people got it screwed up. He obtains favor from God. A lot of the reasons why a lot of these black men are going down, because a lot of them get ready to go down, and a lot of them can't catch a break, is because they don't know how to treat their favor, and that's their woman. And they take pennies on the dollar. You don't see any other race get it on TV. They would not allow them to do it, to call their women's B's and H's, to talk bad about their women. But a black man with his nappy neck ass can't even get paid unless he's doing it and he willing to do it. And these are the women that have bared his children, and he had a black mama that struggled to take care of him. A single black mother that struggled to put food in his mouth, and then he talked bad about black women. Whew, y'all know how I am about that. Y'all know how I am. I'm dropping the link again for anybody that want to come up. You can. For those of you that are just coming in, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Is it too old? That's what it is. I've had it for, you see, he said my fire detector is too old. I've had it for like what, almost 2.5 years. I don't know. I guess maybe it is too old. I'm gonna get a new one. Um, let's see. Mike Jones, the Illuminati Records do not want to sign you unless you have beef. Absolutely. But that's only in the black community. It's sad because it happens in all walks of society, including YouTube streets. That's true. That is so true. It's like, for some reason, and I don't know why, and because it's a lot of stuff that go on, but it's like black men have to preach hate of the black woman. They have to preach hate of the black woman to get a record deal, and hater of their own, really of their own race. So you have to talk about killing your own race, and you have to talk about your black women, black men who really are, and women who are God's chosen ones, really. Because who can pray harder than a black woman? That's why you see a lot of men, they talk about how their lives was changed when they got with a good woman, especially a good black woman that has a divine connection with God. But the reason why a lot of them can't win is because of how they treat their women. Because as the Bible says, he obtains favor from God. A lot of them don't know how to treat their favor, and that's why they can't catch a damn break. It's very sad, and they would do anything for money and clout from the older heads that's in the game, right? And a lot of these young boys, especially when they don't have father figures, okay, because it's a trend for these men now to make babies and not take care of their babies, especially if they don't like the mothers, and it's like a double standard. It is a trend. I guess it's celebrated for some reason. They consider Farrakhan a black supremacist, and they're not even letting him do his job. Well, maybe we should call out these people who giving these black men pennies on the dollar, but they just willing to take it. They're white supremacists. We could call them white supremacists. They can't even get a record deal. They won't even give a record label no funding. unless they're talking about destruction in the black community, and these record labels go along with it because they feel like they can rise above the condition of their people. That's why you see them about 5 or 6 years later, they ass is broke, busted, and disgusted, because you can't plant bad seeds and not expect for them to grow. A record company gives rapper a record advance, just say 300,000, but in return the rapper has to pay back 500,000 plus interest. The rapper record deal is like a payday loan. Absolutely, it's never really intended for them to be able to pay it back. And even if they get smart enough some kind of way to pay off all their debts, all of a sudden they end up taking out. Something happens. They end up having heart attacks and aneurysms, or somebody else take them out. Their car get ran in the ditch. But people are so money hungry. And like I said, I can't understand black men taking crumbs to be the face of that, to destroy their community. That's why I say, even out of all of this, I want to get to the root of it, because I think about Straight Drop. Straight Drop was living in a high rise, y'all. A exclusive high rise that started at $1,600. It started at 1,600. Ain't nothing in there but professionals. So how he get that? He couldn't he couldn't even get it in his name. You know, I'm sure the authorities got whose name that it was in, but you think about it. He had no job. But that's what I'm saying. You have people that are funding troubled people to do dirt for them, and those are the ones, y'all, that we got to deal with. That has to be dealt with, because for some reason they feel like they have risen above the conditions of their people. And even if you have, don't send destruction back to the community. That's what's pissing me off. Even if you have in some kind of way made it out of the community, because people can do whatever they want to with their money. Why send destruction back to the community when the communities are already piss poor? And I think a lot of the reasons why the authorities are spending like they are is because you saw all these deaths, and it made a lot of people mad to think they was going to be putting hits on people to shut folks up like they was God. I heard an officer say, MF think they God? We going to work all night every night until we get them. All of them. So a lot of times they give an illusion to a lot of these kids. Oh, well, they putting bags on people's head. They doing this, they doing it. They don't even understand. They get ready to go do some fed time. So a lot of times you have to let people hang themselves. Even though I hate this happened to Dolph, but what did it do? It revealed a bigger problem that should have been dealt with a long time ago. I don't know. I don't know if he was Kobe. Make it make sense. Says, tell us how. It's a whole lot of apartments down there. It's a whole lot of them. A lot of high rise. I think he was living closer to the river. Tell us how you really feel, Tamara. Yeah, I'm just getting it all out tonight. That's what I want us to do, because I know we're focused. I know we're so focused on. I know we're so focused on Dolph's situation, and we should be. We keep it out there. We let the authorities know we haven't forgotten, and that's how why they're spinning right. But when we talk about this and we come up with solutions, we get to the root, because as I said, even with these young men, they're 23, 26, 18, 19 years old. They ain't got no power. People give them a false sense of security and pay them to go mess their lives up. Okay? But if we don't deal with the root of this, you guys, if we don't deal with the root of it, if all of them, when all of those young men are convicted, and we don't deal with the root of the problem, What happens, y'all? When all of them are convicted and we don't get the root, meaning the people that are putting the bags on folks' heads and doing this, and that, they're sending these kids out. Those limbs are just going to grow again. And then we just have a generation of black boys just constantly going to jail because they're making laws and stuff more harder because of what's going on. That's why they're putting the death penalty on the table, to deter them from taking the bag. You take a bag, we're gonna catch you and you're gonna die. But if we got all these young men who could be productive in society and in our communities, if they're guided right, going to jail, then what happened to the young men? What happens to them? Instead of getting the root of the problem so that we don't constantly grow rotten leaves again, because when they go away to jail, they on death row, they're in jail for life. Okay, we dealt with the limbs, but the root is still the root of that tree is still right there, just waiting to grow some more limbs. When everything quiet down, they're gonna rot out somebody else's child. He signed that contract with Yogotti's brother, Big Juke, $825,000. I didn't even know record labels were still giving that kind of money. $825,000. That's the scary part about the case. What's the motive? Mike, once they catch the right person and say it was a paid hit, it's over automatically RICO Act. Y'all, we don't know who ain't already talking. You know, don't nobody want to go do the death penalty. These folks out here spinning, they talking about I'm spinning, they killing folks. Some of these people got the mentality of a serial killer, that they're so screwed up in the head. Okay. Um, but they sure don't want to go, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I heard somebody say it, but I do believe, like in Texas, I think they stick to they the death penalty is the needles, right? The medicines, not medicines, but I forgot. I don't know why I can't think. But I think in Tennessee, I think they still got the electric chair up there. And the electric chair is a cruel way to die. And I don't want to see our young boys, y'all, go to an electric chair. I am a mother. Even though I get on here with anger, I'm mad at these old Negroes. Some of these old Negroes that I was listening to somebody say today, they talking about, somebody was saying they got to go get their old hitters because these young boys ain't doing it right. They better sit their old asses down because they awful old to be going to that chair, because that's where they going. These folks are already zoomed in on them. But as a mother, it don't make me feel good to know that our youth is so messed up because they come from poverty, hard living, and then God give them a talent instead of somebody like Dolph was doing with his young men, nurturing that gift and guiding them right and helping them. They already messed up, traumatized. They see what kind of person they are. They're already messed up because of poverty and trauma. They destroy their lives even more. So those are the types of things, you guys, that has me upset. Because as a black woman, I want to see our generations get healthy. Things are supposed to get better with time. Anything is supposed to get better with time, even wine, right? But it seems like everything gets better with time except for the black community. We get worse with time. No child of yours or mine should be looking up to nobody as a role model that ain't paying a bill in your house. It says destroy and rebuild communities. and deal with those people at the root that are destroying our communities. Because believe it or not, I always go back to JoJo Splat. JoJo Splat just turned 19 back in October. So he's still a baby. His brain ain't even really developed yet. So if his brain is not even really developed yet, can you imagine what would happen if he got around the right, especially if he ain't had nothing to do with this Dolph case? Because if he did, he gonna ride. I'm gonna tell you now. They gonna, you know, that's right, kid. Injections. Um, if he got the right type of people around him, he's still at an age where somebody can structure him right. You see what I mean? Can rear him in the right direction because he is a baby. Why do you think he get on here, this social media, doing all this silly stuff? Because he's immature. His brain is not really developed. He got the wrong types of influences around him. They don't understand love. Anytime you think somebody in a gang loves you and they don't even love their own kids enough to be out of the street, but they don't understand what love is. You know, I'm going to drop the link again. For those of you that are just coming into the room, please like and subscribe to the channel. Liking the video helps the video to circulate more. Y'all, I had thought about doing another subject tonight. I was going to talk about something else tonight as it relates to the Douse case, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. I just felt the need to get on here because, I can come on here and drop information and say things all day, but we got to get to the root of the problem. Like I said, straight dropping all of them, they are limbs. All these guys are in the late teens and 20s except for Cornelius. I don't know how he got involved. A lot of people, Cornelius looks innocent, but I think he's probably more involved than what people think. I don't think they would have him if he wasn't. And to be completely honest with you, I think the reason they still got him is because when they got him early on, he went ahead and told on himself. I think that's what I think. But of course, he understands. He's older, so he's got survival skills. Also, I mean, he understands the laws of survival is self preservation. So he don't want to go to the chair either. Well, Kobe, the thing about it is when you say you never seen so many obese poor, a lot of people are depressed. That's the reason why they're obese. And y'all don't let me get started talking about y'all president Biden, because I told y'all he wasn't no good. Anytime a man that was elected back in the 60s, when he first started in the 60s, that's how old he is. I don't know why y'all think a leopard can change his spots. They just learn how to get slicker. They just learn how to what's the word that I'm looking for? Become a chameleon with their environment. So meaning he just learned how to play black people, right? The man is on record as saying when they was talking about integration of schools, it would be a disaster for his little kids to have to go to school with Negro children. And then I was intending to address that. Somebody was saying that Bill Clinton created that strikes bill. He did, but he had a lot of people in Congress to help him to create it, and Biden was one of them. So Biden was one of the major ones. So he helped Clinton, who y'all thought was y'all first black president, because he played a saxophone and gave away some food stamps like Biden did. Because see, one of the first things Biden did when he got into office was strip black people of getting any grants to support their businesses. I kid you not. And tripled food stamps. So a lot of people feel like, well, he tripled food stamps. When we ought to be teaching our kids about being business owners, okay? And that's racist. That's, to me, that's an insult. You feel like all black people, to keep us quiet, give us some food stamps? When there are intelligent black people who want to grow their businesses and have the same opportunities as the Asians and grants that the Asians get when they move into this country, and the black folks are already in this country, but you strip us of that, and people wanted him. And then he put a black woman beside him. Black people don't do their history. Who made her career off of overcharging poor black people that could not afford to hire attorneys to defend themselves. And so they was convicted. And she got all them high conviction rates and built her resume off of poor black people. A black woman who can't even say her daddy black. She couldn't pass for nothing else but black. My dad is Jamaican. A Jamaican ain't nothing but a black man, but she can't even fix her mouth to say he black. But this is how they play us. There is no unity in the black community, because if we united, we all, we get one leader, or we do the research ourselves. We would have known we don't put them in. But that's for another show, because I get real mad when I start thinking about the schemes that people play to keep our community in bondage. Kobe, it is becoming depressing in Memphis, but I'm gonna tell you something, Kobe. I still have hope for Memphis, because I do believe that the people are working to make sure that these streets are clean. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I can't understand. They said 3 11-year-old boys was shot yesterday up at, I believe it was up at the library. They said that some 11-year-old elementary school boys were fighting. Three of them jumped another 11. 3 11-year-olds jumped another 11-year-old boy. And instead of the 11-year-old daddy, because I would think with 11-year-olds, I mean, you can't fight them, but I'd have been pushing them back off of my child. The daddy shot them. 11-year-old boys shot them. It's a sad day, I promise you. I ain't never known nobody that couldn't handle, and he a man. And because they was jumping his son, I'd have been knocking them back off my child. I might would have had to go to jail for, snatching them up off of my child. But I sure wouldn't have shot them. He shot 3 11-year-old boys, and they was all 11 years old fighting after school. It's a lot of these parents got mental illnesses too. They okay, they on this lean and stuff. Cause what grown man can't handle 11-year-old boys? As a taxpayer, we need to go to these viral assembly meetings and discuss the same issues. That way families from all over can communicate and contribute to a one world community. I agree. Majority of them young guys is involved in name Happy mentioned another of them over 25, all of them cartels and pistols cases on their rap sheet. A lot of these young men think it's a badge of honor to have charges. I don't understand why black men feel like it's a badge of honor to go spend time in the pen with other men for a lot of years and be in there with them. To have a rap sheet where you can't really get a legitimate job or whatever, or loans if you want to start a business to take care of your family. You think a lot of them think it's something to have a lot of years and to be constantly going in and out of jail with being in there with the men. Some of them, it makes me think a man that can't stay out of jail do what is necessary to go back to be with the men. I done told you now. I work for the. Don't let me start. Don't get me started on that because I know what go on. He worse than them all. Hello, Miss D, gorgeous queen. I am sending you a lot of love, hearts, and butterflies. Also, my prayers and blessings to her as well as her fabulous family. Peace. Okay, I'm gonna let her know that um he been in politics all his life. Love to him is likes on social media. That's right. A lot of love to these people is likes on social media. Just like these kids thought that they was gonna be able to kill Dolph. They thought they was gonna be able to kill Dolph, and for it backfired on them. They thought they was gonna be able to get a lot of likes. They became and become famous. It backfired on them. Instead, they became infamous. They wanted to become famous, but it made them infamous. Love is likes on social media. He just gave approval for crack pipe. Right. That's what he think about the black communities. That man came in destroying. Like I said, if Biden, I could see like he helps. There, no black man should be doing life in prison for having no for being caught with no weed, especially since now they've made it legal, right? But Biden and Clinton and them created those laws because they wanted to get productive. First of all, what Clinton was in Arkansas, our neighboring state, right? So he was the governor over there. His brother was one of the biggest drug dealers that there was in Arkansas at that time. So what Clinton did was they all came up with laws to get these black men off of the street so that his brother wouldn't have no competition. That's what I think. So these young men that got caught with weed and stuff 3 times, they even with traffic laws, the 3 strikes law, it's people in jail now for even traffic violations. Biden has been, he was the vice president before he was the president. If he wanted to make some things right, why didn't he go and look at reversing that? Working with these governors and stuff and getting a lot of those charges where those men are in jail, productive black men that could have been out taking care of their families. Why didn't he reverse that? To me, it just don't make no sense for a man to be in jail for drugs for 30, 40 years and a rapist get out in 6 months. You got men out here raping babies and women and stuff, and they won't hold them, but they'll keep us. Okay, don't get me started. It's something wrong with that. You got people that are flat foot murderers that can get out in 3, 4 years, but you want to keep somebody in jail that was selling some weed for 30. What link Cornelia Smith was their fingerprint? Okay, JoJo Splat posted on Facebook page yesterday. The feds are on my ass. I I can't move like I used to. Lord have mercy. Now why he go do post that? Mm. I guess him, Lord Jesus. I told you he was 19 years old. Make it plain, Tamara. You're spinning facts. Thank you, Skinny Gal. Yeah, Biden did us dirty, and he still is. Joe Biden, Bill Clinton. I'm gonna tell you something. I wasn't a real big Trump fan. But I noticed how the media would black out. As a matter of fact, I wasn't a Trump fan like that at all. But I understood. See, that's why I say we don't have no unity. That when Trump is vindictive, when they started putting bad publicity out, he's been a part of that establishment. When they started putting bad publicity out about him, he started telling their secrets. That's why he gave away all their money. They always claiming we ain't got no money. He just gave it all away. He had that money circulating. Black people got money that would never get a grant. But instead of us coming together and uniting, we allowed the media. I was listening to Trump one day say, and this was when he was the president, when he was giving out all that money, he did it being rebellious to them because it's never really meant for black people to come out of bondage. And they said, well, what about, President Obama? Because when President Obama, what he did was he bailed out all the big businesses. Y'all can't say I'm lying because y'all know he did. He gave all the money to Ford and all Capital One, all them big credit card companies and stuff. And they said, well, President Obama bailed out Chevrolet and Ford, and he gave them billions of dollars. He said, tell them to make a car that sells the little people are going to get the money this time. And that's the reason why they made sure he wasn't reelected. And they allowed the media to spin the narrative, and black people shot themselves in the foot. The first thing that Biden did in the first 90 days, he changed what, 100 and something policies. And one of them was he hurry up and stripped away any grant that could help support a black business. But we'll talk about that another time because I be getting mad. That's the regular in New York City. Yes, it starts from home. T. You see the new judge, federal judge Joe Biden elected. She's black, yes, but have a white husband, not African American. I know that part. Another Kamala. The thing about it is happening. Let's see, happening in every city. America have turned into a third world. Right, America has turned into a third world country. The real gangster is in prisons. The real gangsters is in prison where they belong, getting your life together and out of the way. Some people just don't like living around certain people, so they make it hard for those. Trump told all their secrets. Yeah, he did. If Moneybag Joe, or did you meant to say yo? Moneybag Joe give out stimulus checks and food stamps, he'll get reelected. And see, like I said, a lot of African Americans don't know what to ask for because they don't want to teach us. That's why I get so mad. When you have Dolph who said, I figured he said, broke black nigga, remember me until I found out the recipe. Now, a lot of people might say he was talking about drugs, but that could mean anything. The boy said he went and figured out himself. They took it up on themselves to figure out the music industry, to talk to certain people to figure out the music industry. And he made it beneficial to him, and he was teaching the young men around him about that. And that was another reason why I can't understand when you got other nappy head, big head black men that get jealous and want to take somebody out and help and conspire and help to take somebody out that was truly helping the community, a black man that had gotten it out of the mud. I could be proud of anybody. But that hating spirit, that spirit of jealousy, it runs too rapid in the black community. At this point, y'all, we're becoming our own worst enemy. I heard the clinics got kids in private schools practice witchcraft in Arkansas. Y'all, they was doing a lot. Trump made it rain. Hey Tamara, thanks for getting me through a long, late drive from Nashville. Thank you for being on Tennessee Mid Sector. They was sick over Trump. He got to go Biden. I'm telling you, I don't think we could survive. Look at how gas went up. I don't know if we could survive another 4 years of Biden. First of all, why would we elect a man who he was forgetting his speech as he was up there? Biden he's a real old man, but it didn't take away the fact that he was racist. That did it for me when I saw that old clip back in the 60s. And people said, well, that was the 60s. People changed. That man ain't changed. They asked him when they first started talking about integrations of schools in the 60s. He said it would be a disaster for my children to have to go to school with Negro children. And people think his mindset has changed because he learned how to work black people. Oh, Lord. Y'all, we've been on here for what, almost 3 hours. I have really enjoyed you guys tonight. It's only 12:30. We're normally on here for like 3 and 4 hours. Nobody, I'm gonna drop the link. See, when I'm on here talking about myself, my throat and stuff get tired. I'm gonna drop the link for anybody that want to come up and talk. Normally I don't know, more people on here, but I guess it's a Friday night. More people are out. Oh my God. Today is the 5th. It's somebody's birthday that I know. I dropped the link for those of you all that would like to come up. You can come up. I want to know what you all think. Do you all think that they are putting people in our community up to sign young African American men, male blacks, and then lure them into beefing with each other so that they can kill each other because of the amount of insurance money that they are putting on these artists. It says JoJo Splat is involved with a lot of guns and car rings. That's most definitely federal. Oh, for sure. Especially if it had any involvement with any kind of chop shop. It cannot be in Indianapolis like that. Everyone would have a federal case. Yeah, I think now that's why they're looking at because they used to be hard on crime in Memphis. And then they started getting less and less stringent, but that's why they're saying that they're working on some stuff now. And I think they're working on it. Somebody was saying that a lot of laws are going to be changed in June. And I think they're working so fast on it now. Number one, it's election season. Number two, all these people that's involved in this Dolph situation gonna feel the effect of these new laws. I know I got family in Indiana. They don't play down there. And the violence did not really get off the hook until Trump got out of the office. Like I said, Biden came in there to do a job, and it wasn't a job for black people because it's an insult when you can sit up and say, I made crack pipes legal and I doubled their food stamps. So that lets you know what he think of black people. We on crack and all we want is some food stamps because he stripped all the grants that was funding black businesses, but every other race get them. Um, in the violence, yeah. Well, y'all, we've been on here almost 3 hours. Like I said, I wanted to go longer. Nobody wanted to get on tonight. And once I've talked for 3 hours. I have talked for 3 hours. Yes, because back in the day, rap beef was done through music only. Right. Back in the day, um, until we understand the power we have as a community, we will forever be lost. That's so true. Black people don't understand their power. And until black men get back in their position, which as the head, because see, things are out of order. Women are forced. People go, well, she a strong black woman. Every strong black woman want a man to protect them because that's the way it's supposed to be. And until these black men get off crack, a lot of them, not everybody, all y'all ain't on it, and stop being haters of women, especially their women. They don't hate no other women. They just hate black women. They feel like all black women are against them. We birthed out black men. How could we be against you? A lot of them don't even know how to respect their own mothers. A woman who have worked hard to provide for them could not have even eaten if she didn't get out and work 2, 3 jobs. I can't understand how a lot of these black men can fix their mouths to be disrespectful to any black woman when they saw how their mother struggled. Um, President Biden started the war in Chicago, closed down 5 or 6 schools, had them kids on the street the whole time he was in office. See there? President Obama. You know what, y'all? I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me. I was so proud of President Obama at first. Just being a black woman, I was happy, in the beginning, um, to see a black man elected until I started really getting into politics to seeing really the truth. A lot of times what they do is when they want certain laws and stuff passed, when they want to do certain things, especially to black people, like what they're doing in the music industry, they will put a black face there because what we'll do is we'll accept it oftentimes if it's a black face, especially if we allow the media to mess up our minds and give them praise. We put them in high places that we really should have God. Obama should have been called on a lot of the stuff he did. They never could have did it up under no other administration. But they put him there, and because he was a black man, we wouldn't call him on it because we were so proud of a black president. So that's how they play us too. Now when they want to do certain things to black people, because they can get in it, nappy cuckabug head Negro now to sell out. You got these rappers, a lot of them that's selling out their community for some crumbs. And Obama wasn't no different. And they know that they can keep us in our place, and we won't say nothing. If we're proud of a black man, we'll just let them give him order to destroy our community. I be saying cuckabug heads when I get mad, because I think about how our people have already struggled and suffered. And then when we do come together to support other black people, they have the nerve to sell out the people that have came together and supported them. That's why I always say no one man could ever rise above the condition of his people until we understand the power that we have. Let's see. And he two old ladies behind him, one white, one black, for the culture. And don't they read from a teleprompter? I know Biden do, because they say he got Alzheimer's. Yeah, he the best talent in the hood. They realize that with Biggie, the gun laws changed. Obama didn't do anything for us. Of course not. That was going on throughout the so-called civil rights movement. But I'm so happy, y'all. Like I said, it seems like oftentimes, like, things have to happen. For those of you all that have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. That helps my video to circulate. For those of you all who have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. But it seems like sometimes things have to happen, unfortunate things, for something like things to be like. I know for a fact, oftentimes law enforcement will not touch things until like everybody is looking at Memphis now. That's why I say they're out there spinning. And I think about the case that young man, I used to do missing persons cases, still do, but I had not ran across this case that owning TV broke about the straight drops baby child's mother used to date a man that went missing. Okay. And from what I could see, the family is probably a little suspicious and always thought that she had something to do with it. The world is looking at that, and I can bet you my last dollar that case is getting ready to be solved. See, when we come together, that's why I said we have to keep this out there. That puts the pressure on the authorities, not just for Dolph, not just for the young man that was missing, but for a lot of people. That's how, when we come together, it ain't no secret about what other races do, y'all, to get what they want. They just stick together. They come together and understand their strength in numbers. Let's see. William said, I dislike Obama after he ruined the coal industry in 2012, 2013. I was heavily invested in it. Back them. I learned my lesson. Yeah, Obama did a lot. Thank you for the $5 super chat, William Mason. Thank you so much. A lot of people, like I said, you had a lot of black people, but they blacked it out in the media that was mad at Obama and was calling out a lot of our leaders that was bold, was calling out a lot of things that he did. But I'm gonna tell y'all how the media work, which is why our own independent medias, like what we're doing on YouTube. Like, I have a TV show in the Mid-South area on Comcast that I own. It's so important because we're able to put out truth, because the main medias will black out stuff. Okay. So it was a lot of leaders that was bold, that was calling Obama out on a lot of the things that he was doing or wasn't doing in the black community. You're talking about black people who had never voted for a long time or never before, that was proud of him, that got out and stood in long lines. You had people out there in stretchers from coming out of the old people home that couldn't stand up in line. They was on bed stretchers in line to vote for their first black president. And then when people started calling him out, when he started bailing out everybody, the Asians, the Hispanics, when they said, well, wait a minute, what about the black people? And I'll never forget, he said, I can't just be the president for the black people. He said that when people started saying you doing something for everybody else, you bailing everybody else out. What about us? And that's what he said to black people that had got out and record numbers and voted for him. But we let him get away with it because we were so proud to have a black president, and we let him do things that we'd have called any white man out on. And they put him there for that reason. The rap industry is a new form of slavery. Yes, it is. I was raised to respect the law. Why does these people think they don't have to respect the law on the books? I don't know, but they're gonna see that, more black women, and because I have to say, even myself, I am so like I want to see our young men survive, and I want to see them be success. I want to see them survive and thrive, meaning be successful. They allow, because I believe like they're putting death on the table in this Dolph's case. I believe they wanted to let things get out of control, y'all, so that black people could be so tired, because we the black women, y'all know we scream on every rooftop, y'all can't do this to our men, not our boys. We will scream and holler and fight about our youth and our children oftentimes. But so many people are upset, and I think they wanted this to get out of control. Now everybody is saying they got to do something. And they knew once we threw our hands up and said we ain't gonna fight, we gonna elect anybody that's gonna do something. Now they're putting, because I think that's what they've been wanting to do. They've been wanting to fry these young boys. They've been wanting to give them the death penalty. And because people are so tired of this senseless murder and stuff that they're doing, ain't nobody gonna fight against this, because people want their families and stuff to be safe. These black boys are out of control. Um, I was raised to respect the law. Obama was cleaning up Bush BS. Obama get a pass. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Bush drunk tail never should have been the president. When I think about what the Bush, I'm talking about old man Bush and Reagan. They're the ones that started bringing in crack cocaine to destroy the black communities. They really started destroying the black families because people started getting strung out. And then around the mid 90s, that's when a lot of people, I mean, the end of the 90s, when people started, um, a lot of people started going to rehab and getting off of drugs and stuff. And then that's when they started incorporating stuff into vaccinations, I think. And also, they came up with this ADD, this Ritalin to mess up our kids' brains and stuff. And they started targeting single, poor black women and giving them a check. You know, it's because a lot of black people don't know. When the government lures you with a check, if you put your child on this medicine, I'm gonna give you a check, you know something wrong with that. But they only do target the poor black women. So in this, I said that to say this. They started destroying us more so with drugs in the mid 80s. The Reagan Bush campaign, I don't care nothing about Reagan. I don't care nothing, especially about Bush. Neither one of them, especially old man Bush, because a lot of this human trafficking and stuff started up under his administration. That man did some heinous stuff, and then folks had the nerve to sit up and talk about we love President Bush, this, and that. I didn't give a damn about him dying. That's mean to say, but I didn't. That man did some criminal, evil things to children. He should have been. Okay, cannot forget about Ronald Reagan let Freeway Rick Ross, the real one, get the drugs. Right. Rick Ross even talk about that. Literacy is a big problem here. Yes, it is a big problem. Black people need one leader we can unite behind. But here's the thing, even with Malcolm X, and ain't nothing changed. When one leader, we get one strong leader, they get black people to either they use black people, get them crumbs to assassinate him, or everybody else get jealous of him and willing to, even though that one leader is put out there and is vulnerable because they're in the front, we're supposed to stand behind them. They wouldn't be killing our leaders if they knew we was going to stand behind it, but we participate in killing them for crimes. And these are the people that have risen up to help our community, to help the future of your children, and you got people participating for crimes on the dollar. Listen to Dolph's song Preach. What you just said related to something in that, some concerning that girl you was just speaking on. Did you know we are still in captivity? How are you going to play a game that you cannot design and win? I always say, there are strength in numbers. Organization is everything. The drugs been around since the 60s and 70s, with heroin and cocaine be brought back in body bags from war. Yeah, I love looking at a lot of like the movies. Like I like looking at a lot of the documentaries that they may have did. They call them specials that are on YouTube from about on the black families from the 60s and the 70s. Even with the 60s, you saw that the family orientation in the homes. Around the 70s, you saw a lot of black people with afros. They was black and they was proud. You know what I mean? They was black and they was proud, like they enjoyed. The 70s just seemed like a time where people just really enjoyed and their freedom and just love their community and their race. They love being who they were. But somehow, I was thinking about how they teach even self-hate now in our community. I was looking at a rapper, I believe it was Kodak Black. Now, who's blacker than him? And he was sitting up saying that each and every person have their preference, right? I'm not mad at him for his preference. You know what I mean? But you talk about a lot of self-hate when you have a black man who all shades of colors of black is supporting, who's saying, I can never see myself. I can't see myself with no dark-skinned girl, and who's blacker and darker than him. That's self-hate. There's a lot of self-hate in our community, and it is promoted. So in order for him to be as dark as he is, I'm sure he got a dark-skinned mama. Self-hate. And it ain't being dealt with within our households and with our in our communities, because we're constantly putting people in high places that ain't got no business in high places just because they got some shiny jewelry on, because we feel like they have made it out. Forget the morals. They're morally corrupt, morally bankrupt, and we want our children to look up to them because they got some money. And that's why things are like they are in our community, until people start back rising up in their homes, and until there's some reconciliation with the African American woman and the African American man. Things are going to consistently be out of order because we've been taught to be against each other and hate each other, and we don't even know why. We got to learn how to love each other, to build love in our households for our children, even if the houses are not even together. And when folks been getting divorced since the beginning of time, they ain't got to hate each other, especially if they got children. So the problem lies within our community, because even these white people in the background understand that they cannot, that they got to get a black face. And that's the Negro I get mad at. They got to get a black face to send to our community, destroy our community. And these Negroes taking them for crimes on the dollar, for pennies on the dollar. I was talking to somebody today. It's some, no, let me say that. But it's a crying shame that people would do anything for money. They have talent and they be out here committing hits. They doing this, doing that, and being watched. So that little money that you think you gonna get, or you was getting or planning to do some hits or whatever, doing dirt, they've already zoned in on them. You ain't gonna even be out to spend it. And them people that's sending you out, what these kids don't understand, when they find out them folks on their tail, they take them out because they don't want them to break and tell on them because their life too important. They have to send you out to do their dirt. William Mason, thank you for the $5 super chat. He said Keyglock said that he from Florida. He caught up in gun charges, fraud, racketeering, etc. Glock 9 said, I don't know why I said Keyglock. Glock 9 said that he from Florida. He caught up in gun charges, fraud, and racketeering. Wow. So y'all, like I said, um, I remember a time when, even when there were OGs, and gangs have been around for a long time, but gangs knew who not to recruit, especially if they had strong fathers in the home, because daddy was going to go and holler at the head of the gang with some respect. He already knew he couldn't recruit his son, and he didn't try to recruit him. So fathers are going to have to start back standing up in their homes. And what I can't understand, even these young men who grew up without fathers, a lot of them look up to their OGs. Before they go commit a lot of these heinous crimes, they go talk to their OGs. And instead of them sending them right, they'll tell them to go do it. A lot of them want to see these young men's lives messed up because their lives were screwed up. They want to see them go take care of their enemies, go out there and crash out and do crazy stuff because they screwed up in the head. They chose to get on drugs and be in and out of jail. They want to see somebody else's child life messed up. African Americans can have all the numbers they want to, but African Americans don't have a military. We are in bondage and servitude. These words are made up for a reason. Yeah. You guys, it's going on 1 o'clock. We have been on here for three. Y'all hung out with me for 3 hours tonight. I truly appreciate that. Yeah, I got to get into doing. I've been working quite a bit of cases, but like I said, when I do certain things, as far as like my cold cases, like I get into them for real digging. So there are some that I'm going to, like the ones that I work, like I get paid for. I could never come on here unless the family agrees or talk about it. Of course, talk about it after I finish. But there are some that I air on my TV show, and that I would like to that I'll start putting on here. There are a few. Anyways, there's one. There's a case right now I'm working on in Mississippi. Um, But you guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate that. Miss D's son is not feeling good tonight. So I think that's why she didn't get on tonight, because she had got in the chat and said she was gonna get on. And then of course Miss D do hair. So, she's got she sells wigs and she sells hair. And we're gonna pray for Miss D. Miss D is a good hearted person. And we don't see a lot of um young black women, although we're the ones that patronize these beauty supply stores and buy the wigs, because we throw a wig on our head, weave, because it helps to protect our real hair, right? We don't want to be constantly burning our real hair out, curling it all the time. But this young lady was able to tap into some stuff, and she's got it sewn up in Atlanta. Like most of the girls come to her for hair and stuff. And so we'll be praying for God to increase her territory. And I want to see more black women with like beauty supply stores and stuff. Every beauty supply store in the hood, we're really supposed to own because we patronize them, but we don't see any black people with beauty supply stores. So those young ladies that are in that business, I hope that somehow, like the Asians do, they're able to buy in bulks because they come together and they just get beauty supply stores in different parts of town. I mean, they understand. They look at the bigger picture. They not messed up about, well, I don't want nobody to know where I get my shampoo from. And then you go and pay $10 for it and have to sell it for 20, and you get mad because somebody go in Walmart. Whereas if all of the African American girls who are in this business came together and bought in bulks, they could own beauty supply stores in different areas of the community. They don't really even have to compete with each other. They can have each area in a community sewn up, but there's no unity. But we're gonna pray for her territory to increase because God is blessing her in that area. You know, as any African American woman, I might be a lot of things, but I ain't never been no jealous woman because I understand. Just like everybody else work together, don't nobody want to be no private eye. You have to be weird a little bit. I'm a little bit of a weirdo, I guess. And even if somebody else did, it wouldn't make me intimidated because my customers, uh, people are going to do business with you based on anything. They might like the heels that I have on. You know what I mean? So I said that to say this: what's for you can't nobody block it, no ways. But that's what black people don't understand. They get jealous and want to take you out. Whereas if it's for you, it can't be stopped. And that's why I keep going back to this Dolph thing. They took him out, but they still ain't been able to stop him because they made his music and stuff bigger. And a lot of them get ready to go to jail. If they the ones that ain't in there get ready to go. So a lot of times you mess yourself up trying to mess somebody else up. Whereas everybody would have been better off just making money and being happy if they had left. Their lives would have been better if they had just left them alone. Because I can tell you now, everybody, a lot of them that was involved ain't getting no sleep because they waiting for them folks to hit that door any minute. I can promise you that. But I got to get off here, y'all. I got to get off here. I've been on here for 3 hours. Um my throat hurting. I thank y'all for being on here with me. We've been on here almost 3.5 hours. For those of you all that that has to go to work tomorrow, I pray God's blessings over you all. I ask God to go before you. For those of you all that's getting ready to go to sleep, I pray God's blessings over you all. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back here tomorrow night. Good night. Have a safe night and peace to you all.